Dak Prescott's just Jackson Mahomes in cosplay.
5, 4, 3, 2. Hey.
What up there? Welcome to Woodward Heavyweights Live on WoodSports.com. I'm Easy. That's Spinball Rax.
Check it out.
Young Chris, and none other than the GO himself, John Cena! On the ones and twos, doing the sound booth for the Woodward Heavyweights. His debut, you can't see him now, but you can see him live this Sunday at November SummerSlam, the November edition of your regular SummerSlam. It's gonna be crazy. Hit the like button and stuff. Welcome.
Okay.
Hey, if you guys like to get your foot in the door in the industry and you know how to work a sound booth, would like to learn how to work a sound booth, contact yours truly at SpeakeasySports_. I'll help you get your foot in the door. And you can fill in shoes for John Cena! All right. Apologize, guys. Did you watch the games yesterday?
Yes, I did.
What time did you wake up? We were all supposed to hang out yesterday. You didn't reply.
Like,
we sent multiple Maydays out. We got nothing.
Like 1:30, 2 o'clock.
Makes sense.
I was up.
Still in time for football.
I had a...
Nah, yeah.
Saturday was...
Point. We get it.
Yeah.
We get it.
I stayed up playing Fortnite until like 7 in the morning. Got a couple dubs. I went to UMaCon on Saturday. That was dope.
How was that?
It was sweet. It was
We
sweet,
got a lot
man.
of hot girls.
There's a lot of bad bitches. I was like...
I almost, when I thought about it, I'm like, damn, there's probably gonna be a lot of like freaky.
Before we walked
hot
in,
girls.
I was like... It was me, my boys, Marco, Dom, Ron, and Max. And we all went. And I was like, I hope there's not just, fat, smelly bitches in, like, My Hero costumes. Like, I hope there's some hot girls. There was a lot of bad bitches there for sure.
I don't know what it is, but it's like, there's tiers for me. And I go through phases, but, like, goth girls, like nerdy girls, like weird girls like that.
Yeah.
Hot.
Oh, yeah.
They're always hot.
There's a lot of them.
Yeah.
Some fat ass. And they're all, it's like Halloween, but even better. Like
yeah.
They're wearing the super skimpy shit, and it's just...
Did you shoot any shots?
No.
Just wearing that type of mode?
It's just, yeah.
Went out there hunting?
Wasn't out there hunting. I was I don't know, just admiring the
No
scenery.
big game hunting.
It was dope, though. It was a cool experience. It was a lot of fun.
What are there just like people getting together? Are there like famous people there? Like
there's voice actors. There's like guys, actor like Gimli from Lord of the Rings.
Nope, no clue.
You know Lord of the Rings?
Yes.
The dwarf with the axe, Gimli. His actor was there. There was a bunch of voice actors who do different voices for anime and stuff like that. And there are guys who design shows. It was really cool. It was a lot of fun.
Jared Tobias knows what's going on. # golf girls forever, brother.
Facts.
Hey. Who was the voice actor that had the line of girls who had the girls
there was,
lined up?
This one guy, he does Nanami for Jujutsu Kaisen. He had a lot of people in his line. So
who is it?
He does. His name's Nanami in a show called Jujutsu
Kaisen. He's from the Bay.
What do you do? Why does Chris know about him?
No, he just asked who was like the most poppin'.
Yeah.
Oh.
There's a lot
So
of people
I have
in
a
that
question, and I promise you guys we'll get
This
into
was
sports.
it was at Kobo.
We'll get to sports at some point, but I just have to get this like out of the way. Like, were you ever at one point excited to meet a voice actor in your life? Do you think when people meet them, they're always kind of like, oh?
No, yeah. I mean, I didn't go in
it's
any.
you.
I didn't go in any of the lines to meet the people or anything. Like,
You're just going to look.
it was just cool. Yeah, I like to watch.
So
But I was just,
Almost always dressed as Superman.
there was like a ton of vendors and stuff, people selling different things, and
2 places I'm going hunting next year. UMaCon.
there's
or
prime real estate
Comic-Con.
in
And I could be off on this one. It's not like golf girl
Ren
tier
Center?
level.
Or the Rensa?
Renaissance Festival,
Renaissance Festival, there's definitely going to be some wenches there. Some,
All right, I feel like it's freaky. Like maybe want a
like
savage
down in the mud. Yeah. And there's no such thing as condoms back then, so.
There's sheepskin. Oh, I don't know about that. Was it? No.
Goat
Pull and pray
intestine
method.
is what they used back in the day. Like sheep intestines.
Oh, it's disgusting.
Yeah.
Do you know the first like soccer ball was like a pig stomach or something? You know how they like inflate obviously after death?
Yeah.
That's what they were just kicking around.
Fuck yeah.
That's why balls used to be pigskin. Basketballs, footballs. Now it's leather, in case you're wondering,
No,
Chris.
it's leather. What do you mean? I texted you immediately. I was like, it's leather, by the way, and you're just like, oh.
Chris asked me what they were made of this weekend. Had to let him know.
Didn't hear a word he said. We should probably get headphones. But
Yeah, probably get headphones. We'll give them to the break. Hit the like button, 5-star review on all podcast platforms. Murph, shout out to you for this hat, dope ass hat. Ryan Day. So I live with an Ohio State fan. Lucas stays with me.
Yeah.
And he's an Ohio State fan. Like, this is like his team. Anytime Ryan Day makes an appearance on television,
he hates Ryan Day.
Yeah, he hates him. He's
Yeah.
quick to call him. I don't care. We're 30 seconds past it. A pussy. He
Yeah.
calls Ryan Day a straight up pussy. And now rumors are circulating that this Michigan stuff wasn't probed by the NCAA. It was from private investigators who were hired to look into the matter, and they relate back to literal relations with Brian Day, a brother of his, who hired these private investigators to then turn over the Michigan sign stealing information to the NCAA. He was asked about said investigation and private investigators and stuff like that, and he had this to say.
Your reaction to the reports that are out that maybe Ohio State, you in particular, or maybe someone close to you, turned Michigan in?
It looks like they just
Your
found him
reaction to
outside
the
of a
reports-
place where his wife was getting.
What an absolute cuck.
What did he say?
I have no comment on that right now. Meaning, I'm involved.
Yeah.
It's so easy to dismiss anything that you didn't do with a quick no.
It's Evil Maz or
For
just
him, it was a no
regular
comment
Ryan
at the
Day?
moment. What'd you say?
It's Evil Maz or just regular Ryan Day? Like he definitely puts shoe polish in the beard.
Oh, a million% puts the Beijing and whatever there is around the house in his beard. The smut from
Just
the
for
freaking
men.
fireplace, like
Yeah.
whatever he can.
Soot.
What is it called?
Soot.
Soot?
Yeah, soot.
Oh,
That's
soot?
smut.
Say it.
Soot.
Spell it.
SOOT.
S-O. Soot.
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 Soot. Either way, what a pussy. Like, I'm a Michigan State. You're wearing Michigan State hoodie today.
Yeah.
How you're
Got a game tonight.
you're so scared of like Michigan, the ass whooping they put on you. And only 2 years, by the way. Like that's, which I guess is really bad for them because you used to whoop Michigan's ass. But like, how big of a pussy are you to sink to that level, to stoop to that level? Everyone's stealing signs.
Yeah.
Everybody's stealing signs.
Yeah.
Everyone knows it.
Mm-hmm.
You're such a pussy. You found like whatever loophole they were breaking and doing so, and then you went and cried to the NCAA.
Yeah.
What a pussy.
Yeah.
Do you feel the same way? Or you want it all to burn either way? You don't care.
I don't care. Burn down.
Burnt down. That was crazy. That blows my mind.
I thought I saw like Michigan fans like quoting that and being like, "Oh, see, it all comes from Ohio State." It's like, yeah, how dare you catch us cheating? Like, you know, it's you're still cheating.
Yeah.
Turn around.
But again, cheating with, I mean, like how so? Like it's something everybody does. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Again, we did, since high school programs are doing the same exact thing. I don't even know why
dude,
it's a rule.
It's, you know, you ain't cheating, you ain't trying, and then you get caught.
Yeah, I guess like the technical way that they were cheating was the fact that they were like recording it, which you're not supposed to record it. But that's you're telling me people aren't, because you're doing the signs during the games
this
too.
isn't that is a weak yeah, everybody's doing it, so it's fine. You got caught. You get caught, you're gonna have consequences. What happens?
It's not a
Like, again, I don't care. You can steal signs all you want. We wouldn't
Yeah.
beat them even if they didn't know our signs. But
I just think this is the biggest like pussy shit I've ever seen out of Ohio State. Like I've never cared too much about them. I'm not fond of Ohio State. Well, when I was a Michigan State fan, like my Taiwan Jones, the boys, they whooped them.
Yep.
To the Rose Bowl.
They
You know
sure
what I'm saying?
did.
It's like I feel like we got one up over them. I don't really beef with them, but like this is just like, I don't know, man. It's like when you get in a fight with somebody, you call the cops afterward. The other guy calls the cops. It's like, bro, you agreed to like have this like a mutual agreement on hand-to-hand combat right now to solve whatever dispute we had, and then you got your ass whooped. Now you want to call the cops? That's just it's some bitch shit. That's how
that's
it's
fair.
all.
That is fair.
Blew me away. You're supposed to be like I don't know, just rise to the occasion and fucking beat Jim Harbaugh.
around.
Everybody else before you did it. Why the fuck can't you? Pussy, absolute pussy. Speaking of pussies, what do you think of Caleb Williams crying after the loss this week?
I mean, you know, he's emotional. This is his last game in college. He wanted to win. You know, I don't.
That's his last game.
I'm pretty sure, yeah.
I don't
His last
think
home
so.
game, at least.
Oh,
But like, yeah, it doesn't. You know.
dude was like, you ever like hit those tears to get your body shake? Like
Yeah.
he was letting those loose.
And it was his last game to try to like do something. to try to get into the college football playoff. If they won that game, they would have had a better chance. They lost that game, their season is, for all sense and purposes, over.
Yeah, I don't really know. I mean,
Like, if I'm him, I'm sitting out the rest of the year.
you know how like
If I'm Caleb Williams, I'm not playing another snap.
I feel like
You can't get in the college football playoff. You're worth millions of dollars. You're going to be the first pick in the NFL. Why would you?
All right, well, think of like what the NFL is. Though. It's like the good old boys club with all these like GMs and owners. Like, I actually was disgusted this weekend watching the Falcons and watching the freaking.
That was ugly.
Whoever else needed a quarterback this in the offseason was like, no, I don't want Lamar Jackson.
Yeah.
It's the good old boys club. There's ultimate collusion. They're always going to shit on like the Lamar Jacksons of the world, the Colin Kaepernicks of the world. You think this kid, after crying tears on national television, by the way, he hit post game. I don't have the video, but he was like, I just want to go home.
Yeah,
just cuddle my dog and watch TV shows.
That's what Paul Thomas said.
Yeah.
He's a little.
He paints his nails.
You know that SpongeBob meme where it's like he's a little.
But he definitely is.
Yeah.
But
That's a little post shot 3.
Yeah. He's still going to be a number 1 pick in the NFL.
I don't know, bro. If you're just based off what you said, the guy who paints his nails, cried after a loss, wanted to go home, eat ice cream, and cuddle with his dog, and then just sits out the remainder of the season, I don't know if he'd be number 1. I feel like there's definitely some coaches, GMs, and the good old boys club would be like, nah, we're good on that guy.
He's going to be the number 1 pick in the NFL.
For sure.
No doubt in my mind.
He's not going to sit out the rest of the season either, though.
He should.
I'm telling you, if he did it, he'd be losing money.
No, you wouldn't.
100% would. If there's a guys willing to say no to Lamar Jackson, like there's guys willing to say no to this guy who's unproven. You know what I'm saying? If
you're a GM and you don't pick Caleb Williams number 1 overall, you should be fired.
They still have Oregon to play next week, who's going to whoop their ass. Then after that,
why would you do that? Why would you go out there, play, put your body on the line, put your future on the line for no reason?
Because it may affect your draft stock.
No, it won't.
I guarantee you it would. In the case with Caleb Williams, everything leading up to it, losing big games, paint your fingernails. You're crying after you lose these big games, and now you're just quitting. That's just not a. No, not every GM's gonna be in love with that. Plus, I mean, there's other good quarterbacks in this draft class too. But anyway, yeah, I don't really know what I had to make from him crying. Chris, do you have any issues with Caleb Williams crying after the game?
No, I don't, because at the end of the day, he is going to be the number 1 overall pick, and I'm not worried about where Caleb Williams goes because I'm a Lions fan. Like if he goes to the Bears, cool. Like then it might be tough, but he also paints his nails, so maybe it won't be as bad as we think. But no, at the end of the day, I don't care, man. I don't care too much. Like a player's emotional, he's allowed to get emotional about about a sport that he loves. I don't really take it that way. I wouldn't handle it that way if I were in his shoes. But man, who am I to judge how somebody handles their wins and their losses? I don't care. All I know is that this dude, by all accounts, is an absolute baller, and I'm just ready for him to get to the NFL.
100%.
We definitely need headphones.
Yeah. Didn't hear a word.
Sorry, Chris. But, it's not on you. I'm going to grab some headphones and commercial break.
Jason Whitlock? Do you know who Jason Whitlock is?
Oh, I hate Jason
Whitlock. He posted like RG3 posted like saying like, oh, look at Caleb Williams. It's hard to tear up not seeing him being consoled by his family, and like posted the video. And Jason Whitlock quoted it. He was like, I think the exact opposite. This makes him undraftable. He is soft. Terrible play. I was like, bro. Like, relax, man.
Jason Whitlock's kind of a joke.
He is a joke.
He's not kind of a joke. He is 1,000% a joke.
Yeah, you're right. He's like, he's just looking for clicks, looking for reactions, trying to spark something out of you. We made it all the way up to the break. There's still a lot more to talk about. We'll get to it. But first, when he talks about Big Boy.
Big Boy. Burgers and chicken sandwiches are taking over at Big Boy. It's burger time. Try the best cheeseburger or our new pretzel bacon cheeseburger. Craving chicken, try the Dolly's chicken sandwich, or turn up the heat with Bob's hot chicken sandwich. Upgrade your regular fries to our chili cheese or loaded baked potato fries. Save room for dessert because they got the Reese's chocolate peanut butter thunder cake, funnel cake fries, and much more at Big Boy.
Now tell us about Feldman.
Feldman Chevrolet is the number 1 place for you to go and buy your brand new Chevrolet car. Catch it at Feldman Chevrolet. There's 18 locations across the great state of Michigan. Visit feldmanauto.com to find the location nearest to you and catch Woodward Sports here live every other Monday at Feldman Chevrolet of Novi. Every now and then I get a little bit lonely.
That dude had a super outie belly button. Like it was like, looks like he's got a little.
How about a bad boy zero turn? And even a chainsaw. And even a weed whipper.
Whether you landscape for your job or landscape for fun, get all your equipment from Outdoor Equipment Co., the official equipment provider of Woodward Sports. Michigan grown, family owned. OutdoorEquipCo.com.
Down tonight.
Woodward Sports own Tom Mazaway and Sam Stick Day will be hosting our Lions postgame show after every Lions game all season long. Tune into the Woodward Sports YouTube channel
no
for his
comment,
hot off the press takes,
Because he
game
knows
analysis,
it's
and
like
Kool-Aid sipping
he
celebrations. You won't want to miss it. Join Maz, Stick, and special guests each week immediately following
he can
every
comment on it,
Lions
he's not
game
being investigated.
exclusively on the WSN YouTube channel.
He said, because when it comes out that they did do it,
important asset.
he knows when he goes to a
Sales
recruit's home and a
process.
father's looking at him in the eyes, like, you're a
Work with
fucking,
Mark White
you're a
and
snitch
Associates.
pussy.
Cancel at any time for any reason without penalty.
Oh, sorry, Mark
Speaking
White.
of flexibility, check this out.
Swiss.
Who you
15.
work with matters. Hire the best broker in the game.
Who's Jason Hamhunt? Oh.
Swiss
Fall's
insurance.
the perfect time to shop your home and auto insurance. It's also the perfect time to shop your home and auto insurance. Do it with the best. That's my guy Mark at Swiss. Email him at mark@swissins.com. Buongiorno. Welcome
Arrivederci.
back to the Woodward Heavyweights. I'm Easy. That's Spinmo Rex. Got young Chris. You can't see him now.
But it's
But you
time.
see him this Sunday at
Bum,
Royal
bum,
Rumble,
bum.
John Cena! Filling in the sound booth for JB
bum.
Smooth. Looking longer, making Mike Gentry said,
Bum,
fuck those guys.
bum,
I'm not feeling it either,
bum.
but here he is, John Cena! On the 1 to 2 shout out. Hey, we know the mics are hot. It's because John Cena's on. He's controlling them. Shout out to him for stepping in today. I know the mics are hot. You probably could hear me during the commercial break, but if you didn't, I was exemplifying even how much of a PUSSY Ryan Day knows he is. Because he was unwilling to speak on the comments and the matter, because he knows when he goes on those recruiting trips and he steps into like a family's home and he looks at the father or mother. A lot of single mothers, birthing athletes out here. You guys got. I'm just saying. They're gonna look Ryan Day and his smut-filled beard and like, you're a pussy.
Yeah.
Why am I gonna send my son to university to become a man underneath a pussy like you, Ryan Day? I'm sorry. I don't even hate Ohio State like everybody else, but like, what a pussy move. Moving on.
Yeah, it's pretty soft.
Yesterday was a bye week for the Detroit Lions. Obviously, we didn't get to witness them play football, but we watched a lot of other games. Miami Dolphins. They're kind of just like the Detroit Lions. I mean, like, you play really well when it's like against whoever, but against these winning teams, they just never cash in the W. I mean, are they fraud spinning? Like what? I was wrong on that one.
I mean, it's a little. Oh yeah, you're supposed to be. Or I guess you got it tomorrow.
Oh, yeah. I'll pay.
Yeah,
this
you
tomorrow.
better pay your fucking dues. But
You all doubted me.
you did.
I think he had the best record, Chris. We're talking about our Friday pick'em, by the way.
Yeah.
You doubted.
This segment initially was where you were right, where you were wrong. I was wrong on the Miami Dolphins. I thought they'd finally catch one against the Kansas City Chiefs over in Germany, but they
They did not.
They cannot beat these winning teams. Just don't show up.
Yeah, it's tough, man. It is like kind of I don't know, man. It's weird. Maybe they found the good teams cracked the code, and the Chiefs' defense has been playing great all year. Chiefs' defense has been kind of carrying Patrick Mahomes. So I don't know if it is that the Dolphins just can't beat good teams, if they're, they struggle against better competition, but they're starting to get a track record of that.
Absolutely, they are. I mean, I can't shy away from it because like teams like that never head into these playoffs and actually like do something with it. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I know this because the Detroit Lions have been that team. Matter of fact, they might be that team this year. I still think they get a win if they especially if they catch the number 1 seed. Which I mean, Cowboys.
If they catch the number 1 seed, it'll be harder to get a win.
For Lions?
Yeah.
No. I think they have better odds to catch them. If they catch the number 1 seed, the easier to get a win, without a doubt. I mean, you get a home game no matter what if you win the division. That's okay. That's fair. But I mean, if they're the number 1 seed, they're seeing the worst of like whoever won that wild card weekend. You know what I'm saying? It's not like they're seeing the best.
That's fair.
So it'd be like some scrubby team. But I mean, you have a point though too. Still going against a scrubby team if it's just that wild card weekend.
Yeah.
More than likely because they're the division winners. But I don't know, man. Miami Dolphins had me scratching my head. I don't know if it's just is it a Tua thing? Is he unable to step up in these big games? Because he is that tier of quarterback where you're kind of just like, he's good, but I'm not ready to put him up amongst like
the greats.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. We'll see. I don't know. I thought they would have been better. They would have been more ready with getting a guy like Jalen Ramsey back, bringing him into the fold. I thought that would have helped them, boost up their competition. But I don't know. Some teams just don't have it when they go against better teams. It was like the Lions. The Lions were like that forever.
Yeah,
where
still like that, really.
They'd never beat a team with a winning record. They'd never beat a team, that would go on to the playoffs, but they'd win 10 games, but they'd all be against scrubs. So we'll see if that's the case with the Dolphins. It's starting to look like that. But
and I mean, shame on me for not, I guess, doing like the proper homework before hopping onto a microphone here. But like, holy shit, Patrick Mahomes only had 185 yards in that game.
Mm-hmm.
But I was going to say, point to Tua was like poor performance. That's how I saw Patrick Mahomes 185. Tua only 193 and his one touchdown too. I'm curious to see what his numbers were against the other teams they caught an L2.
It's also like they were in Germany. It's the flight. It's different things like that.
KC's in Germany too.
Yeah.
I don't know. I guess we'll then spread to another topic. Maybe I'll save it for later. Booner and I got a little back and forth in the group chat today. I don't know if you saw.
I don't think so.
But so I'm hoping to get a crosstalk because Booner and I are going to have one of our epic, like, where he kind of just melt down, he's just screaming, not listening thing. I'm trying to get him in that state, there in that chair, because I told him, like, the Lions are kind of the same predicament this year. I mean, outside the KC Chiefs, who, no asterisks, they got the W, but you got to be realistic when you're evaluating this team that there was no Travis Kelce or Chris Jones on that team that they defeated. Outside of that, there hasn't been a single team the Lions beat that are going to finish the season above 500. Not a single one.
Yeah.
Every team they face that's above 500 beat them. Right?
Yeah.
And there's only 3 of them, but it's the same situation,
Still. We'll see. And it's not like they have a lot of great competition on their schedule the rest of the year to kind of prove you wrong.
Yeah.
Dallas is the best team they're going to see on the remaining schedule, so we'll see what goes on there.
Spinny, come away from the weekend and a little bit of football you watched based off your picks or any other assessments you may have made last week. Where were you wrong?
Where was I wrong?
I can give you picks if you like. I got it pulled up. You had Tampa Bay over the Houston Texans.
Yeah, I was wrong. I don't know why I doubted my Texans. Like, C.J. Stroud is him. He went out there, put up 470 yards, the most by a rookie quarterback ever, and 5 touchdowns. Led the comeback, had the game-winning drive with less than a minute on the clock. Like, that was extremely impressive for the Houston Texans and for C.J. Stroud to go out there and take care of business like that after Tampa went down the field and scored the touchdown for what they thought was the game winner.
Yeah.
Then C.J. Stroud said, hey, hold my nuts, pussy, and he went out there and made it happen with 2 impressive throws to Tank Dell. So I don't know why I ever doubted my Texans, man. They're playing great. C.J. Stroud looks like a top 10 quarterback already.
Yeah. Shout out to Tank Dell, by the way, helped me get my fantasy win yesterday. Want to have a pickup, but C.J. Stroud yesterday. Mm-hmm. I'm going to take this where I was right. Because I was one of the guys, I wanted C.J. Stroud. And obviously didn't pan out where he fell to 7. That was never happened. But people were telling me Ohio State never produces good quarterbacks. Mm-hmm. Yesterday, C.J. Stroud set an all-time best game for any rookie in the NFL ever.
Yes.
Right
best
now,
game by an NFL rookie at quarterback ever.
470 yards, 5 touchdowns, 0 picks.
Yeah.
30 for 42 I'm looking at it right now. That's insane, Spinny. He, right now, through 8 weeks of play, same amount of games, has more touchdowns, more yards, and less picks than Jared Goff.
Yeah, of course.
It's
the man's been balling. The man's had a fantastic season. He is your offensive rookie of the year, like, by far.
With the worst cast, too?
Yes.
I mean, like, what was Nico Collins before C.J. Stroud got there? Tank Dell's a rookie himself. Like,
Nico Collins had a pretty good year last year. Yeah.
I don't think he's having this kind of year.
Yeah, he had a pretty good year. He was showing that he's going to be a good receiver in the league. But he's definitely taken it to another level with C.J. Stroud. Like, C.J. Stroud's gone out there and made things happen, and it's been very, very impressive. Lucas, how you like that, Lucas?
Yeah, which I will give Lucas credit. He did repent for his sins. But Nico Collins, his career high was 481, which was set last year. He's already above that by 200 yards this year. With C.J. Stroud at quarterback. I mean, he's nice, man. Mm-hmm. And that's another one where I could just turn around and say I was wrong because I thought the Tampa Bay defense would hold them to something.
And one that I thought another one that I'm pretty sure I picked Atlanta over Minnesota.
Yes, you did.
I think I did, but because, like, Josh Dobbs, bro. Josh Dobbs came in there 4 or 5 days in the facility? Not even. That he's been with the Vikings, and he went out there and he led this team to a comeback win. Had, I think, 3 touchdowns total, 1 rushing, 2 throwing. Like, Josh Dobbs went out there and was him tendencies for the Minnesota Vikings. Extremely impressive performance. He doesn't know these guys' names yet. He doesn't know the plays, the cadences, and he just went out there and took care of business.
The Booner Sports Show hopping in the chat. Hater. Booner, just make sure you're here on time. We got to have the back and forth. Where I was right. The Baltimore's on a roll. I've been launching them into my top 3 every time I do a power rankings. I really think, had a conversation with Braylon yesterday, I think they could be Super Bowl contenders.
They're the best team in football right now.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Like you're probably right.
Yes.
In terms of coming with
consistency. They just blew out 2 top 10 teams in back-to-back weeks.
That's
the Lions and the Seahawks. Blew them both out.
Yeah.
Neither of those teams scored a touchdown. 2 very good offenses. Neither of them scored a touchdown against these Baltimore Ravens. Baltimore beat the Lions, 37-6? And they beat the Seahawks 37-3, I think, or 36-3. Like, it is impressive what Baltimore is doing. Their defense is legit. They're suffocating. They're good on all levels. And Lamar and that offense just keeps rolling, man.
Yeah.
Baltimore is the best team in football right
now. Nice lie, Easy. Goff has played 8 games. Stroud has played 9. I'm pretty sure Stroud's played 8. They already had their bye week. Texans' record currently sits at 4-5. Where's the lie?
Well, he's played 9 games.
9 games?
Yeah, 4 + 5 is 9.
Let's see. We got Ravens.
Let's see. 1,
Colts,
2.
Jaguars, Texans.
If they're 4-5, they played 9 games.
Saints. Well, I
Sorry,
had the 4 and 5 in front of me. I had the 4 and 5 in front of me.
Oh.
Actually, I'll just click on it. I'll just get it.
They're 4-4.
4-4.
Yeah.
So 8 games.
8 games.
8 games played.
Yeah.
That's the same amount of games Jared Goff. Detroit supremacy. Math isn't that hard, Bubba. Come on now. Same amount of games CJ Stroud, more yards, more touchdowns, less interceptions.
He's only got 1
Jared
pick
Goff.
on the year?
I think it's 4.
Sheesh.
Does he only have 1? There's no way. Really?
He's only got 1 interception.
That's actually insane.
He's got 14 touchdowns to 1 interception.
And that's just throwing the ball. I haven't seen what he's done passing. I know he had a 2-point conversion earlier in that game, too.
2,270 yards. Damn.
Cue ball. Get your facts straight. 4-4. Same amount of games as Jared Goff.
Yeah, 8 games.
Just confirmed. Bubba.
And he's got 15 total touchdowns because he has 1 rushing and 1 interception.
Exo Screen.
That's insane.
Shout out for the super chat. He asked, is Kayvon Thibodeau better than Hutch? Now, I know Kayvon. Let's check this out here, because I'm not familiar with Kayvon's stats off the top of my head. I want to have him in front of me while I make this assessment, because I look at him differently. Like, where I look at Kayvon,
his QBR on the season is 102.9.
Who?
Or his QBR is 63. His quarterback rating is 102.9. CJ Stroud.
Oh. We're talking about Kayvon versus Hutch.
Yeah.
Actually.
Somebody in the chat asked for his QBR.
Before we do that, tell us about Lady Jane, Spinny.
Lady Jane's. Coming to Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men for an award-winning haircut experience and register to win a trip of your dreams and all expenses paid suite for the 2024 NCAA tournament. That's right, no expenses spared for you and 5 of your best buds. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men. Open 7 days a week. Walk in anytime. It's wicked awesome.
Since the dawn of moving people, Chevrolet has led the way. The world of transportation is changing. At Feldman Chevrolet, we are leading the charge forward. With every electric vehicle, every mile traveled, one Feldman at a time. The company that puts more Chevys on Michigan roads is now the #1 name for Chevy electric vehicles.
Who said we're going to get swept by Josh Dobbs?
Now, coming to Woodward Sports. Woodward
Somebody say that.
Main Street, the Woodward Sports Network Detroit Lions show. Catch Gabrielle D. Phillips, Matt Broder, and Terry Foster for all the latest news on your Detroit Lions every week. Only on the Woodward Sports Network YouTube channel and woodwardsports.com.
DNC ENT said Dobbs is a legit rocket scientist. Is that true?
15 seconds. 5 iron. 5 iron. 3, 2.
5-Iron Golf Leagues are back. Make sure you guys sign up at 5irongolf.com. If you're not familiar with 5-Iron, it's the best sports bar in downtown Detroit. They got 13 TrackMan simulators, certified instructors, and most importantly, a full bar and restaurant. Make sure you guys stop by. It's 5-Iron Golf. Use promo code Woodward10 for 30% off. What up, though? Welcome back to the World Heavyweights Live on WoodSports.com. I'm your boy Easy, joined by my guy Spinmo Rax.
What up, though?
Young Chris and John Cena! All right, I'm going to play it out. But John Cena in the booth. If you guys are interested in getting your foot in the door in some sports entertainment, hit your boy up at SpeakeasySports_ on Twitter, on Instagram. Send me your wife's nudes. Maybe we'll work something out because we can use a sound guy in the days JB can't make it here. But I want to address the comment we had in the Woodward Sports chat because he did send it in the super chat. It's Exo Screen. Shout out to him. But he asked, is Kayvon Thibodeau better than Hutch? Spinny?
No.
Carry on?
No, I don't think so. He's got a lot more help. I mean, now with Leonard Williams being gone, I mean, you still got Sexy Dexy, who's playing like one of the best interior defensive linemen in the NFL. And I still think Hutch is a better player. I think Kayvon's having the better season for sure, but I'd still take Hutch.
Chris?
I mean, come on, man. You know it's still Hutch. I know Hutch has been disappointing, but there's a reason why Lions were shocked that he fell at 2. Like, there's a reason. Hutch is an amazing prospect, and while he hasn't put it all together on the field consistently yet to a level that you would like, he has shown in flashes that he can absolutely dominate a game, and he alone can be an absolute difference maker. And that's something that Kayvon Thibodeau, while he has played very well with what Spencer said, a lot of help around him, he has been great, but Hutch has shown that there's games when he can just himself just carry the defensive line and put a ton of pressure on the quarterback. Like, his ceiling to me is a lot higher. So I still don't think you can look back at that pick in any negative way, not yet, even if Hutch isn't as consistent as you'd like.
I'm looking at the stats side by side. You got Kayvon Thibodeau with a combined 26 tackles, Aiden Hutchinson with 23 combined tackles, sacks. That's the big difference. Kayvon Thibodeau with 8.5,
3
Aiden
against the
Hutchinson
Jets.
with 4.5. Yeah, 3 alone against the Jets.
3 alone against the Jets.
I'll say this, and I think I've been firm on this even after the draft pick, and everyone was happy with Aiden Hutchinson. Even past the point we're happy with Aiden Hutchinson when he started off slow last year too. I still feel this way, by the way. I think Kayvon has the capabilities of being the better edge rusher, where Aiden Hutchinson has the abilities of being the better football player. And I think if you're not going to include it in this, like the side by side, but Hutch also has an interception.
Mm-hmm.
He has a couple interceptions from last year too. He plays like smart ball, where he's effective isn't always necessarily on the stat sheet. Tibbs, though, I mean, he's hell of a season.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, it's hard to get like I guess a feel for what that season is or what that production means when your team only has like one win, if I believe so, on the New York Giants. They just lost to the lowly Raiders, which, tell me where you're right. Picked the Raiders win, shout out to Antonio Pierce for getting that dub. But yeah, I think, and again, I've said this right after the draft too, and leading up to the draft, I do think Tibbs is like the better edge rusher, but Hutch has the ability to be the better football player.
Yeah, I mean,
Thibodeau's, and like you said, he has more help too.
He has more help. Thibodeau's on a 2-7 team. It's tough to, get the recognition, get the shine, even though he's having a great season. Like you said, he has 8.5 sacks, and he might be more gifted as a pass rusher with his athleticism and his moves, but Hutchinson is the all-around better player. I agree with that.
Yeah, and we'll see how this season continues too, because he still has Sexy Dexy on there, but no more Leonard Williams. I mean, the combination of those two. What I've been asking for, I mean, it's too late now. It's past the trade deadline. But what I've been wanting to look at this Detroit Lions team this year as true contenders is address an interior defensive line, and he had 2 pieces like that. I mean, and at some point I was like, okay, well, if you don't want to address the line to help out Hutch individually, how about you just go get somebody who's going to win those individual battles when Hutch is doubled? And they didn't do that either. But maybe Brad has plans for the future. I mean, I don't know. Chris, I think you were the one who brought it up at the deadline, was like, maybe Brad doesn't believe in this team the way we did this season. And I think I'm starting to lean towards that a bit.
Yeah, I think that he looked at this team as this is a season where they can make a lot of progress, but not the final step, I should say. Mm-hmm. Like they're going to cover a lot of grounds. They're going to win the division. They're going to hopefully win a playoff game. Like these are the goals that they're looking at, which would be huge stepping stones for the Lions. Don't get me wrong. As frustrated as Lions fans are right now about the deadline and other teams making moves, I think if the Lions win one playoff game this year, damn near all is forgiven, because you finally get that monkey off your back and you see a team that's building and progressing towards a championship contender, and it's not maybe happening as soon as you'd like, but you can see the path. And so I think that's what it is with Brad Holmes. I think he's saving it, but I would disagree with that, because I feel like you could have made not all-in moves, but moves to better your chances this year and keep the window open for next year as well, and just give yourself more shots in the barrel.
And for me, I'll admit what? Nothing. It's hard for me to admit that I'm wrong at times, especially when it comes to this team. I was probably wrong. I probably had higher expectations of this team this year than what feels like Brad Holmes did. Because this is straight from Pride of Detroit, by the way, a straight quote out of Brad Holmes' mouth following the trade deadline during the press conference. And he had mentioned every team has a different plight. Every team is in a different place, different direction, a different phase in their team building. And that word, different place, different phase, and team building. Obviously, if Brad Holmes wants to keep his picks, sounds like he's still constructing the base of this team that we felt was done. But now if you take the 30,000-foot view, as D-Mac likes to say, and you want to add up the rest of the facts surrounding that, is like, okay, as we mentioned with the Dolphins, we really haven't had great success against these teams that are above 500. We have beat up on the teams that are lesser than us. There's no true tell that says this team is like contending this year for it to be worth the sacrificing picks. And maybe that's what Brad Holmes sees it as. And now that I add, like I said, the record along with it against the winning teams, I might be in agreement.
Yeah, well, I mean, we'll see what's going on. I know a lot of Lions fans, a lot of us thought they were Super Bowl contenders. They're one of the best teams in the NFC so far this year. They're sitting at 6-2, and we think they can make a run. They're going to win their division. They're more than likely going to win a playoff game, but maybe Brad Holmes doesn't see it as that. Maybe he still wants to add pieces. He still wants to form more of a mold of this team before they go out there and try to add a piece to really make a change.
So that should have been a question maybe that I'm just thinking of now that we should have asked at the deadline then. So if you're not making these moves, in theory as a GM, you're always trying to plan 10 steps ahead. So he's looking at these third, fourth round picks that Montez Sweat and Chase Young are going for as assets that he wants to keep going for. Do you think that's a plan to move up in the draft or trade for other players? Like, what do you think is, because if he didn't make the move, he's holding on to those assets for a reason. What would you, given your evaluation of this Lions team, what would you see as the move he's looking forward to, he's counting on? Is it draft night moves? Is it off season?
Draft night moves for sure. If you're keeping the picks were what? And per sources, like, he didn't want to give up anything from 2024 draft class, but he's only making offers. He made offers on these defensive players, but would never want to give up anything in the 2024 draft class. So, and I think all cards are on the table. Maybe he wants to move up. Maybe just thinking of gathering like depth. I mean, I could see it all happening. He's kind of done it all, except for make a big splash trade for a big player like we wanted at the deadline.
Yeah.
Again, he's in a different place than we saw it.
Yeah. Max Mayer says Sweat is paid more than Hutch, and we were complaining we didn't do it.
I didn't complain about Sweat. I wanted.
And no shit. Like, Hutch is on a rookie contract. Obviously, he's going to make less than a guy who just signed a $100 million deal. Like,
yeah. Sweat also has more sacks than Hutch on the season too, for being fair. Actually, I do want to address that because shots came my way from my good friend Stick this morning.
Yeah.
Hey, actually, some of you too.
Yeah.
Talking about that very trade deadline and the Montez Sweat stuff is like, what do you use? Brother, we are not the Bears. Stop making that comp to like what we wanted in Chase Young. The Detroit Lions are a different position than the Chicago Bears are. Chicago Bears are rebuilding. It absolutely made zero sense for them to make that move and then reinvest in that guy before they had any type of foundational piece or base to like what that team's going to be. At least not one that we've seen yet. Whereas the Detroit Lions, from our perspective, and I damn sure a lot of your slap ass perspectives, thought that they're contending for a championship. And that's why I wanted to go in and grab another piece to cement that. Especially when I watch the contenders that are actual contenders that have beat actual teams above 500, grab other pieces. Yeah, it makes you want to like get in the race with the big boys. But it just doesn't feel the same. In my opinion, I can't say for sure.
Yeah, that's how I saw it as too, and we'll see what's going on. We'll see, what they can do. I still have faith in them to win this division. I still think they're going to contend.
Sure win the division.
Yeah, they're easily going to win the division. I think they're going to contend for the number 1 seed in the NFC. When you look at the Eagles' next 5 games compared to the Lions' next 5 games, a lot of things can be happening. The Lions have a very, very easy schedule going forward.
They're just so good.
The Eagles are very good.
Like last night it felt like a night. Obviously, it was in Philly though, so I grant them that pass. But like, it felt like one they were supposed to lose. It's supposed to come any time now, and they just no.
Especially the end of the game where Dallas had they got 2 penalties on the Eagles that pushed them down like 40 yards down the field for free, and you thought that might be there, but no, the Eagles, they held tight and they got the dub.
2 things I can do, because I do have a good comment here by Bob's Big Boy. Shout out to Bob. He says Hutch isn't a game wrecker. He isn't physically imposing enough. He works hard and is a good guy, but hasn't recorded a sack since October 8th, and we are in November. Hutch Gobblers, come to the defense. I'm going to let you guys sit on that one during the commercial break. I'll also say this, for the people who say I've never admit I'm wrong. I've always told you win games with Jared Goff. I told you win a playoff game with Jared Goff. I haven't been wrong yet. I'm just saying.
What about Fairway?
Fairway Pack Company, if you want to be right for sure, that's where you go to get your meat. All right? Fairway Pack has got the best. Michigan's finest hotels, restaurants, casinos all go through Fairway Pack Company for the prime beef, Wagyu beef, and dry-aged beef. Give them a call today at 313-332-5114 or visit them at fairwaypacking.com or go for grab-and-go steaks at the Grosse Pointe store.
Gabby is a college student struggling
These headphones
to
are
study
weird.
for her big exam. Then she discovered Syntron, a healthy way for her to stay awake and focus. Jennifer frequently has chaotic
Next time this guy
days
stands
like
up,
this
look at his belly
until she
button.
gets online, orders some Syntron and
Or
finds her
can you see it in the mirror?
April visited her local grocery store, purchased a case of Syntron, and entered to win the Syntron 100K Vegas giveaway. Pick up your case of Syntron today at any Meyer location.
It literally
or
looks
visit
like it.
drinksyntron.com/Vegas and enter for the 100K Vegas giveaway.
Woodward Sports' own Tom Mazaway and Sam Stick Day will be hosting our Lions postgame show after every Lions game all season long. Tune into the Woodward Sports YouTube channel for his hot-off-the-press takes, game analysis, and Kool-Aid sipping celebrations. You won't want to miss it. Join Maz, Stick, and special guests each week immediately following every Lions game, exclusively on the WSN YouTube channel. How would you like to win not one, but 2 vehicles of your choice? One for you and one for your wife, your girlfriend, or your best bud. Get to Lady Jane's today for an award-winning haircut and automatically enter for your chance to win. Courtesy of Les Stanford Buick GMC of Ferndale. Lady Jane's, open 7 days a week, walk in anytime. It's wicked awesome.
How would you like to win a $100,000 trip to Vegas? Take your closest friends and live it up in the city that never sleeps. It's the Syntron Energy. Drink it and live it. You can purchase a 24-pack today and enter for your chance to win. You can do that at drinksyntron.com/Vegas and buy Syntron at your local Meyer store. Go to drinksyntron.com/Vegas for more information.
What up, though? Welcome back to Woodward Heavyweights Live on WoodwardSports.com. I'm Easy at Spin More Rex, Young Chris, and in the ones and twos we have John Cena!
All
right, I'm done. A lot of talking really fast, really cool stuff going on, guys. Make sure you check out johncena.com and all that good stuff. He is wrestling Sunday because he wrestles and stuff.
Good times now.
Good times now. I want to read a couple comments on the Woodward Sports chat. Shout out to Dr. Clapp at Cheesy Comments. Says, Easy's take on golf is the exact same way I feel about AG. He is decent. You can win games with him, but he can't get it done against the best competition. I have also never been wrong yet. Clap at Cheeks, if you're an AG hater, you've been wrong. The Detroit Lions currently have a top 10 defense in the league. This year, I can speak to like them not being these teams above 500, but last year, they had a couple of them dubs. Giants being one, Jags being one. Jets did not finish above 500, if I'm not mistaken. No. Trying to think who else. The Vikings. What'd you say?
Vikings.
Yeah, Vikings. I think there might have been in there. Might be one more in there. I have to look through the schedule. I don't have it in front of me right now. But another thing, too, I noticed and came to grips with, and I think I want to go back to Big Bob's comments a little bit, too, about Aiden Hutchinson. How'd you feel with the stuff you had to say before the break?
That was a little aggressive.
A little aggressive?
I'd say it's a little aggressive. I do want to, like I said it on Friday, I need to see more out of him. He needs, like, the pressures and stuff. It's cute. It's cool. It's a good stat for PFF to do, but sacks count, pressures don't. I want to see him get the quarter, and he knows it. He knows he needs to be better. He knows he needs to get the quarterback on the ground a couple more times because he's been sitting on that 4.5 for a while.
I still think there's value in actual pressure. Like from what my understanding, and I had to go back to find out. Everybody in the chat knows like the definition of a pressure per PFF. Isn't the quarterback breaks the pocket? I'm assuming. I mean, if anybody wants to find the exact definition of how they define their pressures, but I think there's still something to be said when you do rush a thrower into like a pass that they're off key with it. I think Hutch is giving you that, but I mean you're right. A sack is obviously better than those situations too, unless you try and come back at a game that stops the clock. But either way, when it comes to Hutch, it's just so early, and I'm not like I don't feel good like making a final assumption on like who he is or what he's gonna be, especially like this soon. Maybe after like next year we'll have like a better idea, a more concrete idea, but. I do watch, as during Thursday night last week, I watched TJ Watt just look like a psychopath out there. And he's screaming, and there's no dancing. He's just fucking straight like war cries.
Yeah.
You know, we watched Max Crosby here in Detroit on Monday Night Football. Same thing. No dancing, straight war cries.
Yeah.
Like you'd be kind of timid to approach that man in that moment. He's on a murderous rampage. Mm-hmm. That's the vibe you get. Versus, and there's no, I don't want anyone to take this wrong way, but Hutch is, kicking his feet, doing little dances.
You sound like a boomer right now.
Hitting the Dougie. Well, I'm just saying there's a difference though, right? Because I would say that Max Crosby
turns 30 and starts judging people for dancing.
All right, we're doing TikTok dance for audio listeners. I apologize. But
5 stars.
Would you say that TJ Watt and Max Crosby are better football players and edge rushers than Nate Hudson?
Yes, I would.
And would you say there's a difference in like personality traits there? Like one's fucking like savage kill mode.
They're definitely two of the most intense football players in the NFL.
Right? I don't know, and this kind of I guess would coordinate with Clapping Cheeks comments a little bit too. I don't know that AG has any of those type of pieces yet. Like when I look at like the Eagles, like, and granted, obviously
Jack Campbell's kind of like that.
He is intense, and maybe he develops into that at some point. Like again, another guy too soon to speak on. But I don't know that AG has any tools that are that. Like they're just like fucking savage mode, and then great at what they do. Versus when I look at the Eagles, like I line up like 3 of those guys. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I don't know if they have anybody that's on that to par against these other teams. We're going head-to-head situations too. So I don't know. Maybe Hutch.
I'm not blaming his lack of sacks on dancing.
No, I'm not blaming his lack of sacks on dancing. I'm just saying I think it's a mentality. I think there's a savage mentality you're seeing out of these guys like TJ Watt and Max Crosby versus just. I mean, and Hutch is still a savage. Don't get me wrong. You got to be like at some level of savage to play the game at that level. But I just don't know if he's that level of savage. You know what I'm saying? I don't know if Kayvon's there either, by the way. I just think he's got a tremendous skill set for rushing the passer.
Yeah.
So a lot of things you like about James Houston, that Kayvon possessed himself, on top of having Dexter Lawrence in the middle there too. But I don't know.
Wilson says Von Miller was dancing like that too in his prime.
Was he?
Mm-hmm.
I feel like Von Miller was a dancer, but I'm not too familiar. I had to go back and watch some tape, see if he was dancing or not, see what these dance moves were. But so yeah, you're right.
I don't give a shit what you do as long as you have results. You can go out there and you can dry hump the football if you're getting results. Like I don't care.
Let me lick you up and
you start grinding that football. I don't care if you're going out there and mooning the crowd as long as you're getting results. So I'd like to see more results from Hutchinson.
Yeah. Easy hates fun. Confirmed. I don't hate fun.
You hate dancing.
I don't have nothing against it. It was just an observation. Again, guys that I think we'd all agree are just a tier above our guy Hutch. They're just beasts.
Yeah.
They're monsters. I just maybe I want one of those. That's all. Does Jalen Carter dance?
I don't.
They talking about making
I don't watch on who dances or not. That's not something I'm focused on.
Maybe I am a no fun guy because Lucas brought it up during the game yesterday. Every time Odell Beckham catches the ball, he's fucking dancing.
That is true.
Could be like a 3-yard gain. He's like, ooh.
Yeah, the OBJ shit's that's a little different.
No, Von Miller had the best bend outside of Derek Thomas in NFL history.
Yeah, that's fair. Von Miller is a dog. Prime Von Miller was scary.
Prime Von Miller is a fucking beast.
Senator Von Miller.
I do like to have fun. Just an observation that that I have. And I get there's a lot of Michigan fans, a lot of Lions fans. You're gonna get butthurt when you make those comments, but it's not. I'm not saying set anything in stone here. I'm just
Making observations.
Makes observations.
Easy's a no dance person.
No, I love to dance. Don't get me wrong. Some don't dance. No friends of mine. I don't know the words. You could dance if you want to. But I'm just observing.
You leave your friends behind. Because your friends don't dance, and if they don't dance, well, no friends of mine.
Yeah, like I love dancing. Like I'm just observing. There's beautiful women in Lady Jane's. One of them's got a fat old wagon on. I'm observing it.
Yeah.
I'm just observing it.
She does.
Just looking at it, it exists. Do you think Hutch could reach that level though of player? Of
I think so.
Watt,
Yeah, I definitely think he can.
Is it a mature thing? Is it mature into his body? I mean, it's the league.
A little bit of both. You know, you put. Like I said, you get more help on the interior and out of another pass rusher to where he can't be double and triple teamed every play.
Mm-hmm.
That'll definitely help. And it's also like a luck thing. Like a lot of sacks are luck things almost.
Hutch had, 3 sacks against the Commanders?
Yeah.
And like 3 of them were like luck?
Yeah, where Carson Wentz just fell into it. Yeah, so it'll happen. I'm not too worried about it. If he continues to do what he's been doing and continues to get these pressures that everybody loves so much, he's eventually going to get these quarterbacks on the ground.
Chris, do you think they'll be able to reach the level of a Max Crosby, the level of a TJ Watt? I'm talking about Aiden Hutchinson.
As of right now, I gotta lean no. You know, like when you look at somebody and you're comparing them to that caliber, I just feel like across all sports, it's tough. It's tough. I know you're gonna boo me. You're gonna boo me, but you know what? It's one of those things where when you're comparing to the elite doesn't happen for everybody. That's what makes them the elite. It's special. Like I don't like to make those kind of jumps. I don't like to make those kind of jumps. So as of right now, off of what I've seen, no, because the biggest key to greatness is consistency, and right now that has been Hutch's biggest flaw. So I think he can have special moments, and I think he's absolutely proven that so far. But and he has unique things. Like the interception thing is crazy. Like that's a skill now. Like I'm chalking that up. Last season I was like, wow, this is wild. This guy's getting interceptions.
Yeah.
But what he did this season, like that's a skill. And that's something that, you know, some of those other guys we mentioned don't really have on their resume. So he might just end up being a different player. I don't know if he can be that special, though. But he is a damn good player and one that you should want.
I think Hutch can get there.
Yeah, maybe just be different. I mean, I don't know. Again, I think he's a better football player than when it comes to comparison of Kayvon Thibodeau. I think he's like that elk. He's always going to be there to make the smart play. He's always going to be there to defend the run. He's always there to set the edge. Where you look at Kayvon, and maybe I'm speaking ill on Kayvon. Maybe we'll have a New York guy to discuss it and break it down with us. I just feel like that's his job out there.
You know, like Max Crosby, I mean, I understand everybody loves him as a pass rusher. He's never had a season over 12.5 sacks.
How many did Hutch have last year? 9?
9.5. Max Crosby's rookie year, he had 10. And then his second year, he had 7. His third year, he had 8. And then 12.5 last year, and now he's sitting at 9.5, so he's probably going to shatter it this year.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah. But that's 5 years into the league.
Yeah.
That's 5 years into the league where he still hasn't.
I mean, 12 sacks is good.
12 sacks is good.
Yeah.
But is 9.5 not good for a rookie?
They are good.
Yeah. So I have no doubt that Hutch is going to be at that level.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Chris.
I don't want to make it seem like he can't get there, that I'd be absolutely stunned. It's just right now, if you're asking me that question based off of what I've seen, I'm gonna kind of default to giving the elite players the benefit of the doubt and assuming that not a lot of players can reach that level. Does he have the tools? Absolutely. And you know, and again, he's not even halfway, or he's just halfway through his second season in the NFL. So he does have tons of room to grow. So I'm not writing it off by any means, but I reserve the elites for the elites. So it's hard for me to make that kind of jump for him right now.
I'm not necessarily mad at that. And I guess speaking of elite, like again, I'm just gonna go out and just say I probably was wrong on the deadline stuff because this team just isn't at that level. Like when I look at the NFL's elite, I can name elite players. Like when you go on the Eagles line, you got obviously I don't know if you want to put Jalen Carter in there just yet because he's a rookie, but my guy Hassan Riddick is him. Like he's doing it beyond just rushing the passer. Yeah. He's dropping the coverage at times. He's making plays in coverage.
And he was injured to begin the year, and now he's got I think he had the
wrist thing on
his hand, like the glove or the hammer, but now he doesn't have it on anymore, and he's back to doing what he did last year.
Lane Johnson, Kelsey, I mean, those are Hall of Famers over there. A.J. Brown, top 1 or 2 wide receiver in the league right now, without doubt. When I look at the Detroit Lions team, I can't point those out. You go over to the 49ers side of the ball. Trent Williams, Christian McCaffrey. Those two, like, among the best of their positions.
Yeah.
hands down. And again, I don't know, the Detroit Lions have any guy that's the best at their position or in the conversation of being best at their position? Penei Sewell.
Penei Sewell, Frank Ragnow.
Yeah. Is Penei in the conversation yet?
Yes.
I feel like
he's top 3 by far.
If he cleans up in the holding calls.
He's a top 3 tackle in the league right now.
Top 5 for sure.
Frank Ragnow is a top 3 center in the league right now. Top 2 center in the league right now.
Yeah.
Outside of that, though.
Fred Warner, too.
Yeah.
I mean, look at the Cowboys. I don't think they have anybody elite outside of Micah Parsons. Maybe Diggs when he's healthy.
I mean, Diggs when he's healthy. DeMarcus Lawrence is a backup, like as a secondary pass rusher. DeMarcus Lawrence. They had those guys on the
DeMarcus Lawrence elite.
Yeah.
Okay.
Especially for your secondary pass rusher.
I'm not beefing. I'm asking.
Yeah.
I don't know where I fall with it. Dak's definitely not in the conversation.
Dak sucks.
I do like Pollard, but he's not elite. CeeDee Lamb, he might be getting up there. I mean,
CeeDee Lamb looks pretty good.
He looked damn good.
They used to have a lot of guys in the offensive line, but not so much anymore.
Yeah, no, it's not the offensive line it used to be at all. I just don't think the Lions stack up when it comes to elite conversation.
Deron Bland has been playing really fucking good this year.
Their whole defensive line is like low key nice.
Yeah.
I mean, Dan Quinn is.
Dan Quinn's the man. He's the best defensive coordinator.
Him or Schwartz. I mean, honestly, might even give it to Quinn. I don't know. Schwartz on a lot of places now too.
Mm-hmm.
But we do have to go to break. When we come back, talking more Detroit Lions football. At some point, we will talk Detroit Pistons. Trying to figure out what in the hell is going on with them. But before then, Spinny, tell us about Hamlin.
Hamlin Pub. If you ever wanted a bar where you are a regular, well, that's exactly what Hamlin Pub is. Be treated like everyone's a regular. They have just a place for you. Hamlin Pub, 7 locations. Like I said, you can experience where everyone's a regular. They got half off pizza on Tuesdays, food and drink specials for all Michigan sports and every NFL game. So make sure you guys go check out Hamlin Pub and experience your new favorite pub for all things sports.
Join Woodward Sports Zone Jeff Iafrate along with special WSN guests for the most anticipated Lions season in decades. Filled with different surprises and expert analysis. You're not going to want to miss out. Go to our Woodward Sports YouTube channel on Sundays and tune in live from 9:30 to 11:30 a.m.
And it's so funny.
At work
through a meadow,
and at home,
right behind.
We're there with smarter security solutions, featuring complete automation with customized alerts and more. For over 90 years, we've been the company that's been counted on to protect what matters most, all with personalized service and care. Right now, for a limited time, receive a free video device plus free installation with a new home system. Guardian Alarm. We protect Michigan.
Brace yourselves, Detroit. As the sun begins to set, 2 of Woodward Sports' brightest young stars will be taking the mic for a brand new show. Woodward Nights with Spooner and Broder. The dog days in Detroit are over, and the boys are unleashed. Join in on the banter and hop on the bandwagon of the #1 night show on the internet. Tune into the Woodward Sports YouTube channel every weeknight from 8 to 10 p.m. Woodward Nights with Spooner and Broder.
Bullseye. Bullseye.
Bullseye.
Bullseye. Bullseye.
BullseyeEventGroup.com is where you get the tickets for the best tailgate in the state when it comes to Detroit Lions. It's Bullseye Event Group. They're in downtown at Shed number 5 in Eastern Market. Make sure you guys stop by, come party with the heavies and the rest of the Woodward Sports crew. If you want some free tickets, DM Lions VIP to Woodward Sports IG.
Bullseye.
Buongiorno.
Or even Derchi.
Welcome back to Woodward Heavyweights Live, WoodwardSports.com. I'm your mate Easy. That's my guy, Spin More Rax. That's Chris Platte. We have no sound guy in today, so I'm saying it. You had commented that we have hot mics and you want to introduce yourself to the sports entertainment industry.
This is the second time in a week.
Make sure you follow me. Make sure you follow Spinny. I guess follow Chris if you want. I don't really care about that.
I'll make you a star, kid.
But make sure you're DMing us for your opportunities. Give us a resume if you can. I don't know if I'll read it, but tell me what skill set you had that pertain to this business here. That's Photoshop, video editing, cheese connoisseur, dancing.
And
you
standing.
Gotta dance. Huh?
And standing.
And standing. Yeah.
And standing.
As long as you can stand, can hear, and have at least one working finger, you too can run the sound booth.
That is fair. Smash that like button, 5-star review on podcast platforms. We need those like buttons, by the way, guys. If you see we're a show that doesn't have, I know Neil likes to complain with stuff he doesn't get. We literally don't have a sound guy in the sound booth
for the second time in a week.
So please support your brother.
Yeah.
And smash that like
The numbers are dwindling.
Share the stream. 5-star review on all podcast platforms. Spinny, the Pistons had a weekend. Not a good one, but they had one.
They had a weekend.
Yeah. A bender.
You guys want to keep talking Lions? You want to drop some Pistons a little bit?
It's up to you. It's your show.
What do you want to do, brother? It's your call.
Let's ask this guy.
He said Lions.
All right. Spinny. Monty on his way back. Frank Ragnow on his way back. Jonah Jackson on his way back. And this is not me assuming that or guessing that. That's from Dan Campbell himself. He said they're trending in the right direction to play against the Los Angeles Chargers. How you feeling?
I feel pretty good. It's obviously it's going to be a tough matchup. The Chargers are a good team. They have very explosive offense. They've got some guys that they need to get back from injury as well, but I expect them to win this game. Chargers playing tonight on Monday night. Lions got a whole week in advance of this game to rest. He said Monty, Frank, Jonah Jackson all trending towards playing. You love to hear that because how good that offensive line and that running game looked against the Raiders with a third-string left guard, a backup center, and a backup right guard. And you didn't have David Montgomery. So having those pieces back, adding those pieces back will only help with the run game, which in total helps with the offense because they can go out there, they can use the play-action passes, they can do what they need to do and make things happen.
Yeah, Dan Campbell, I know he had the press conference today, and he self-scouted the Detroit Lions during the bye week, and he said the 3 takeaways he had was special teams, third downs, and red zone plays, red zone efficiency, I should say. And I agree, and I think we have these guys back that increases at least 2 of those things for damn sure.
Definitely red zone efficiency with Monty back.
Exactly. And we said it last week because I don't know how the split's going to look with the return of Dave Montgomery and after the emergence of Jahmyr Gibbs. But I could assume between the 20s see a little bit of a committee. But right there in that red zone area, that's where I'm imagining Dave Montgomery is going to be a benefactor for the Detroit Lions. I'm sorry, the health of him being back is going to benefit the Detroit Lions tremendously. And I think, per Dan Campbell's self-scout, there's going to be a lot less of that cute shit we saw a little bit in that Raiders game in the red zone with the Detroit Lions. A lot of them just shove the ball down the throat, much like you saw against the Green Bay Packers. I love that Monty's back for that very reason. And short yard situations, too. Third downs, third and shorts, you're looking at the same thing, Smitty.
100%.
I know. What are you doing?
I don't know, man. I'm still recovering, still recuperating. But I expect Monty to play a big role coming back. I know they said they are going to, stagger the carries, do different things, which obviously that's what you got to do. When you have a guy like Jahmyr Gibbs who burst onto the scene and made some waves, you're going to want to do that. But Monty, he's going to have that Jamal Williams role from last year where he's punching it in the red zone. He's punching it in those short yardage zones, and that just makes everything better. And not to mention, he can catch the ball out of the backfield too. And now that we know Gibbs can run efficiently through the tackles, defenses won't know what to do. Because back in the first couple games of the season, if you saw Jahmyr Gibbs come in, you're like, all right, it's going to be a run outside or it's going to be a pass. But now you don't know. Now they can do whatever they want with both of these backs in, and that just makes it harder for defenses' game plan.
I mean, Jonah Jackson, I'm thinking about too, that also helps like the run game in itself. I mean, don't knock the Kobe Sorsdale, but obviously I don't put him on the same level as Jonah Jackson when he's able to provide for this team. I mean, he made a Pro Bowl, for Christ's sakes. I think you're going to need to run the ball against the Chargers team too. Like, right now, currently, I think it's like 1.5. It's essentially a pick 'em. It's 1.5 favorites for the Chargers, yet they're still a plus like 102 if you want to make a bet for them to win the game. But against a team like that, where you have a Justin Herbert, which is one of those guys, like similar to Josh Allen on Thanksgiving, kind of just like get down there whatever he needs to if he wants to, if they're like successful enough, you want to run the ball. You want to take the ball out of their hands any given chance. You want to limit the amount of possessions they have. Take as much time as you can. As we saw, again, in the Green Bay Packers game, which the Packers are kind of ass. They did catch a win against, I guess, no Stafford yesterday. I can't give him credit for that one, really.
Ripken.
Yeah, definitely would have lost that game if Stafford was healthy.
Yeah, it's the Chargers' defense sucks. So you want them to be on the field as much as possible. You don't want Justin Herbert to get any chances of being Herbert and throwing the ball. Austin Eckler, great player. Quentin Johnston looks better. Keenan Allen, obviously great. Joshua Palmer, I like him a lot. Hopefully he'll be back soon. My fantasy team needs it. But you don't want that offense on the field for longer than they have to be. So you run the ball, you dominate the time of possession, you milk the clock, and you punch it in the end zone when you get the chance.
I'm looking it up right now. I want to see the Chargers' run defense, like where they rank on the year, because I'm pre-scouting this matchup, and obviously we have all week to do so. But having Jonah Jackson back and David Montgomery back, I can only assume that's a big part of the Detroit Lions' game plan going up against these guys. Just got to hope you get the ball first. Take your sweet-ass time getting down there for a touchdown.
Yeah.
Do you like that style of play? Versus like
shoot it out?
No, I'm saying
air it
like
out offense?
Just take the air out and just fucking ground and pound that bitch. Yeah.
I love that.
Me too.
That is the easiest way to win in the NFL is run the ball and don't turn the ball over. If you run the ball efficiently, if you dominate the line of scrimmage, you push teams back, they can't get things going on offense. And they have to commit so much to stopping the run. If you're able to do it efficiently, it just makes the passing game come easier. It makes things come easier for other players. And it just makes the game flow your way. If you dominate the line of scrimmage, you dominate the game. And that's how you win in football.
Yeah, it's especially when I don't want to come off a knock. But like if you don't watch shootouts with like JG, that's the perfect recipe for it. I mean, that's exactly what the Rams did with him too. Like run the damn ball. Run the ball. Make it where they have to throw, because like time's like limited at that point, right? You take the ball, you have your possession, you take 9 minutes of it. Now they have like 5 or 6 minutes to get finish out the quarter.
Then you can pin your ears back.
Yes.
Send guys after the quarterback
and headhunt.
Have your athletic ball hunting secondary do what they do best, and it makes the game a lot easier.
By the way, Chargers 9th in the league right now in run defense. They're allowing 93 yards per game, and I don't have a per carry on that. The last 3 games, 79. So actually, they're kind of trending upwards with that defense. What do you think Detroit Lions are post Raiders game?
Run
defense.
Probably 8.
2. Yeah.
Wow.
Still number 2.
Wow.
Philly is number 1.
Yeah.
Currently.
Philly's pretty good.
Pretty good.
Philly is pretty good. They're getting scarier by the week too.
They're getting healthier. They got banged up big time in that Dallas game. Like we saw
yesterday?
Yeah, we saw Jalen Hurts limp off the field, Darius Slay, James Bradbury, Jalen Carter. Like a lot of guys were limping off the field, but they have a bye this week, so they're going to be able to heal up, and they're still going to be pretty damn good.
Still our rise comments. One point I have to make. I can make this sound in my armpits. No, I'm just kidding. He says, if you don't get a nice pass rush going and don't play up on receivers, Justin Herbert will pick you apart, all caps. We have to understand this.
Yeah.
I'm with you.
Justin Herbert's a dog.
He scares me.
That's reasonable.
That's reasonable. That's one where I'm actually saying, yeah.
It's not like Desmond Ritter scaring you. Like Justin Herbert scaring you is reasonable. He's been a guy in this league for a couple
Justin Ritter
years.
never scared me. It's just that's how the Atlanta Falcons were going to win. They won that game. Was through Justin.
Jordan Love scaring you doesn't make sense, but Justin Herbert.
How the Packers would win the game was through Jordan Love. No Jones in that game. They would have aired it out. Watson was it?
Bryce Young scaring you?
Never said that. Never said that. Was never scared of Bryce Young. I damn sure was never scared of Jimmy G. I couldn't even come up with anything for the Raiders.
Jimmy G freaking you out to your core does not make it out.
I said, yeah, those two. I ain't. No.
Shaking in his boots. Shaking in his boots.
This Justin Herbert guy. I mean, well, obviously, again.
Justin Herbert's a dog, man. He can make all the throws. He does it effortlessly. He's been doing it with a broken finger for pretty much the whole season so far.
Yeah.
And it's impressive. He's doing it with no help from his defense, no help from his coaching staff, but he's got good pass catchers, and he can make all the throws.
I just had an idea from Easy's point. Like, when you go off of what Easy's fearful of and how the Lions can lose this game.
Passing.
It's just a quarterback, man. You just have to stop every quarterback. If the quarterback doesn't play good, the Lions will win. That's a game plan.
Yeah.
And that's what Aaron Glenn needs to do. I'll get him on the phone. Let's figure this out. Let's drop this knowledge on him.
Steve O'Baby says, did you guys see the DeAndre Swift interview on Fox yesterday?
No, what did he say?
I did not. Please send it to me. I have no clue what he said. Jordan Schaefer says, Justin Herbert is okay, but the Chargers defense is 31st in the league. Detroit supremacy. Just kidding. We never read his stuff.
That was a good one.
Now do the passing D, says Eduardo O'Neal, which I believe the Chargers have like the worst passing D in the league.
Yeah, the Chargers defense is terrible.
It's definitely,
which does not make sense because they've got dudes. Like,
yeah,
they have a Joey Bosa, they have a Khalil Mack, they have a Derwin James, they have Asante Samuel. You think they'd be able to piece different lesser pieces around those guys and make an actual decent defense, but have not seen it so far.
Catch up with the comments. There's some Hutchinson again. Some like
serious hate.
Yeah, I mean I don't want to call it hate, but just
criticism.
Yeah, I mean I get it. Number 2 overall pick, but damn, I'm not expecting. He's a Michigan guy too. I didn't expect to see this much criticism, I guess, as you said.
Well, let me tell you guys about Planet Fitness. Planet Fitness is the home of the judgment-free zone where anyone, and we mean anyone, can feel comfortable and work on their fitness goals. At Planet Fitness, you'll experience a squeaky clean gym that has tons of equipment, a full body workout in just 30 minutes, and all memberships include fitness training. You get all this for just $10 a month, no commitment. No matter where you are, there's a Planet Fitness close by, and they have more than 50 in Metro Detroit and thousands more throughout the world. Planet Fitness, where your fitness is essential.
Come hang with the Woodward Sports Crew all throughout football season on Saturdays and Sundays. Join our college football and Detroit Lions live watch parties.
Inside the 5, caught, end zone, touchdown Detroit Lions!
With money on the line, featuring different special guests and surprises. Start times will vary depending on the game. Only on our Woodward Sports YouTube channel.
I don't want to be anything other than what I've been trying to be.
Coming to Woodward Sports, Woodward and Main Street, the Woodward Sports Network.
And I'll be the bar. I'll look around, baby, about somebody. Dude, Shade Sharp was balling. I remember motherfuckers called me stupid for one Shade Sharp.
No, they called me stupid for one Shade Sharp.
I said he was nice. Well, I didn't doubt that.
I was stupid one Shade Sharp.
Chris loves Jaden Ivey.
I preferred Sharp.
And chicken sandwiches
I did.
taking over in
I also
Big
didn't think Ivy would be there.
Pretzel bacon cheeseburger. Turn up the heat with Bob's hot chicken sandwich. Upgrade those
Premier
fries
Pat.
with our chili cheese fries or loaded baked potato fries. Hit your sweet tooth with funnel cake fries or Reese's chocolate peanut butter thunder cake. Load up on all your favorites today at Big Boy.
When it comes to your pet, don't settle. Give your pet the best. Premier Pet Supplies, hands down, Michigan's best pet store. Family owned and operated for over 30 years. 13 Metro Detroit locations, over 60 brands of food, lowest prices in curbside home delivery. Premier Pet Supply, give your pet the best at www.premierpetsupply.com.
Still I rise. Because remember, folks, the 9-7 New York Giants took out the undefeated Brady Patriots in the Super Bowl. Yes, they had Strahan, but they also had major help from JPP and the rest.
And O.C. Mignora.
Yeah, that's
Justin Tuck.
Hey,
fucking head coach for the Raiders. What's his name?
Antonio Pierce.
Yeah.
Linebacker though.
Yeah, but still, he's a dog.
Hey,
that defense was scary.
Listen, former defensive lineman here. I wanted them to acquire Chase Young for that very reason. My favorite thing, not my favorite thing, because I hate when people say it. Shout out to Neil Rule. He says all the time. He's like, per Washington sources, he gave up an assignments for big splash plays.
Juan 313 says Spenny N-word controversy loading.
Ooh.
What did I do?
Damn.
Oh, I think he's saying because of hot mics. No, I don't use that word. Ask Easy.
He does not.
I say my Ethan.
But he can. He can.
I do. I have the pass. I have been given. I literally still have it. The physical copy of the pass that Easy gave me. Even when I'm rapping, I say my Ethan. My Ethan. My Ethan.
I was making a football point. I don't even remember where I went.
Sorry. Can't be throwing that out there.
This guy constantly. Booters in the building. I need you guys to go at it on my Twitter for the crosstalk.
We should trick Booter.
It's definitely one that you guys want to have or want to be a part of.
You got the pass, bro. Go ahead.
I was talking about the 07 Patriots getting beat by the Giants. Defensive line.
Yeah.
Always wanted. That's the point I was making. The guys said, like there's reports of like blown assignments that Washington coaches weren't proud of, and Yaze Blase and all this other bullshit. You made the great point when you brought up Trent Williams had the same stuff like around him, circulating him when he made the trade from obviously Washington to San Fran. Same thing with Chase Young, but also it's San Fran making the move. It's John Lynch making the move. If John Lynch doesn't give a fuck, I promise you, I don't give a fuck. Like you talk about having faith in Brad Holmes. I have faith in Brad. I like Brad Holmes.
I got faith in John Lynch too.
Exactly.
Motherfucker knows what he's doing,
exactly,
bro.
Yeah.
Motherfucker knows good football players.
Thank you.
Like I said, man, everybody talking about like, oh, he's a disgruntled player from Washington. He takes plays off. He does all this. Like I said every time, man. You remember the last time the 49ers traded for a disgruntled player from Washington who took plays off, who wasn't good in the locker room, who was fighting with teammates and coaches on the sideline? It was motherfucking Trent Williams. Now he's the best offensive lineman in football.
Yeah. But again, if you missed the show a little bit earlier, I forgot the name of something Rise. Still I Rise. I just don't
Nobody said, can you get it laminated? That's a good question. Can we see the pass? Says Uncle
Every
Neil
time we try to tell
Softee.
him, this guy's just going into random shit.
It's funny.
Hey,
I know, but wait.
we could hot mic. We could hot mic Booner. We could hot mic Booner.
He said easy Saudi Arabian, fam. We don't know what he is.
That's what I'm saying.
Mexican, Native American, Saudi Arabian.
Does he have the pass?
Puerto Rican.
I do.
He's got the pass for every race. Like, cause he
I'm just saying.
Because you could never
pinpoint.
You could pass all. You could pass anything.
We should hot mic Booner.
This pass.
That's what I'm saying.
We should hot mic Booner.
We should trick him into saying it.
Oh yeah.
Hot mic Booner?
Yeah. He doesn't know.
How would you hot
during break?
Trick him into saying it during break and then cancel him.
Oh, Booner doesn't use that word.
No, Booner's the nicest dude ever.
No way in hell. Don't talk to Josh McDaniels about the 07 Giants. Jordan Schaefer, you're 100% right. Did you see that during the weekend? I think it came out before the weekend.
I don't know. Josh McDaniels is a bum, though.
That's what led to his ultimate demise, or one of the pieces that led to his ultimate demise.
Who?
Josh McDaniels, when they have the conversation, Antonio Pierce was like talking about them believing themselves, like when he was on the 07 Giants and they beat the Patriots.
Yeah.
And then Josh McDaniels got salty because he's a part of the 07 Patriots and was like, please don't bring that up, blah, blah, blah. Yeah. Yep.
Josh McDaniels is a bitch, flat out.
See the boys puffing cigars post win. That's that's smoking on that Josh McDaniels pack.
That was smoking on that Josh McDaniels pack for sure.
Forgot everything we were talking about though. Shout out to Spinny.
You're welcome.
It's the defensive line, I think it was.
Yeah.
But we're past the deadline. It's kind of like pointless to talk about. Oh, still I rise. This is why I meant to get to you. Is that I took it as Brad's he doesn't think this team's in that state to pursue anything like that. And it's my fault for thinking more of the Detroit Lions team because they have opportunity to win the number 1 seed, but it's just not gonna. I don't know. Brad doesn't see it that way, so obviously we're gonna relax on him a bit for not making moves at the deadline. I will take a step back and apologize for going at him at the deadline.
No, man, don't apologize. Like, you never know your title window. You never know it.
That's fair.
And it might not ever be an easier path to a 1 seed than this year. Probably won't be.
There
actually.
won't be.
So, I mean, but we also thought that this year's schedule was going to be harder than last year's, and it turned out to be quite easier.
Oh, way easier.
You never know how football works. That's why you go for it when you're even halfway close, in my opinion.
Who knew the Raiders and the Broncos and...
Yeah. Why do the Raiders going to be kind of... I
thought they were going to be competitive, though.
But who also thought that Minnesota was just going to be off a cliff, that Chicago was going to be almost no better?
Well,
listen, no, I was.
Yeah, I don't
know if they're all
but then there was the Packers, and I guess some people believe that Jordan Love was a quarterback to be feared, one that, shakes you in your boots, but I don't know. That was just some people talking that didn't know anything, right, Easy?
Absolutely. 100%. Moving on. Spain's dancing. I'm talking.
Vibing.
This is a good song.
This is how you get the...
What song's even on?
That's how you get the Super Bowl.
Tears for another day. This is the Weeknd, I think.
I don't know.
Weeknd makes bops.
He does, but I found out a lot of girls do not like him like I thought.
Really?
What do you mean?
Like, girls don't like the Weeknd like that.
Girls love the Weeknd.
That's what I thought, but I don't know. Just in my group, I thought all the pretty girls liked the Weeknd. I put it on in front of a few of them. Wasn't feeling
much. You're scaring the hoes.
You're scaring the hoes. That one with the guy at his mom's grave.
Have you seen that?
Oh,
it's
my
like a
God.
meme. It's like the people on the streets, and they're asking, and they say like,
What's
"What if
a
he
red
doesn't
flag?
have a mom?" And she's like, "Oh, it's total red flag." And it cuts this dude at his mom's grave, and he's like, "Bro, you're scaring the hoes." It's just so fucking funny.
Can you play the video from Sam Laporta on the podcast?
Yeah, I still haven't seen this.
Yeah, give me 1 second to bring it in, and I got you.
I appreciate you. Yeah, so Sam Laporta was on Chris Long's podcast, and he's kind of talking about, I guess, what's helping him come along this what could be a record-breaking rookie season for a tight end.
Yeah,
and
he's been balling, man.
Yeah,
I said it. Told y'all motherfuckers laughed at me then.
Chris, do we have it, or you want me to wait till next?
No, I got it. Give me 2 seconds.
Okay.
1, 2.
Seconds here.
That means he doesn't have it.
Okay, give me two more seconds.
It's okay. We'll talk about something else.
And then here we are. Boom.
I motion into the box. I don't know who I'm blocking.
Yeah. Of course he's got.
And I kind of have to read the defense on my own. So when I get Dan's help with stuff like that, hey, you motion into the box, you see it's split safety, you see it's shell coverage, you automatically know the point is going to be the front side backer because it's nickel. I'm just like, man, that makes a lot of sense. Like, I guess I don't need to worry about, stuff like that goes so far with my development and just understanding the game at this level.
There we have it.
Former tight end. Have another former tight end as a tight end coach now too.
Yeah.
Your offensive coordinator was a former tight ends coach.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it just makes sense that Sam Laporta was going to have this season. I apologize for not believing you, Spinny, when you said it.
It's all right. It's all right. I knew it, man. I knew it was going to happen. I knew it was going to be a big – because we saw it last year. Like, if the combination of, no offense to these guys, Brock Wright,
mid,
James Mitchell,
mid,
Chris,
mid,
and
actually good,
and what's Shane Zylstra can go out there and look very good and produce more than what TJ Hawkinson did in this offense. When you get a guy like Sam Laporta, who's very good after the catch, good in space, athletic, there's no way he's not going to have success. Anyway, he's gone out there and he's done it for sure. It's extremely impressive to watch. I love to see what he's doing out there. I love his attitude. He's just happy all the time. So good for Sam Laporta. I'm glad he's making a name for himself.
100%.
I guess I should have just seen it coming, man. Between Dan Campbell, I'm sorry, I apologize for not remembering the tight end coach's name, Steve something. Do you know what it is? Top of your head?
No.
Either way, and then Ben Johnson, former tight ends coach, that Sam Laporta was going to be this great. And I think another thing too is, like, in that same interview, you kind of spoke to, and I said this last week, we were talking about Anzalone's like development or like the things that he does great as like a linebacker. But
Steve Hyden,
thank you. The same little tips and tricks that they, like, I guess, exchange in those practices between an Alex Anzalone and a Sam Laporta. When Sam Laporta like lost a rep to Anzalone, he was going to the vet. And he was asking him why, versus staying quiet or just probably going through like his offensive-minded coaches and asking like what he did wrong. Go through a defender that's actually like picking up on those things you're doing wrong. They're just telltale signs of the type of routes you're running. But I think, do you think he'll beat the record? I think it's 1,076 yards.
Yeah, I think he can get there.
He's like 400 something right now.
I think he'll do it.
9 more games to go.
Give it to him. Let him do it. I think he can do it.
Chris?
Man, I don't know, because this offense is getting healthier right now, and again, you're hoping for strides from JMO. You're hoping that the new piece is going to be able to bring some production there, and like those all kind of take away. And we saw, again, it's an ecosystem. So some games Sam Laporta can ball out and he can carry a majority of the load. Other games it's a collection of people. So with that being said, I feel like he absolutely can, especially with the way this offense has schemed him so far. But I just feel like with all the versatility that this team is going to be so good in so many places that he'll fall short of it and get like 800 or 900 yards. So he'll be close, but not quite.
Even with that versatility and a lot of different players, like, he's still number 2 on this team in targets behind Amon-Ra St. Brown. He is very comfortable with Jared Goff. He runs a lot of the route options that Jared Goff excels in, whether it's those middle of the field balls, breakout routes, break-in routes, different things like that. Those middle centered routes. I expect Sam Laporta to continue doing this. He is a safety blanket, and he's been very, very good in his role so far.
Amen. Spinny, tell us about Guardian Alarm.
Guardian Alarm. Well, if you customize solutions for real experts, they're professional technicians. They're professional technicians. Take time to recommend security and automation solutions specific to your needs. They also have 24/7 professional monitoring. You can call them anytime, day or night, and know a Guardian Alarm team member will stay on the phone as long as needed. And of course, they have technology backed by people. Your safety and security deserves technology. It's been proven to work, and people have been proven to care. So call them at 1-800-STAY-OUT. That's 1-800-STAY-OUT. And let them know the Vert Sports sends you. Everyone cared and nobody cried.
We've just received word. The world's cannabis supply has vanished. The public is outraged and has taken to the streets in response to this tragedy.
The individual responsible acted alone, and we can only hope they will make things right soon.
Join Woodward Sports' own Jeff Iafrate along with special WSN guests for the most anticipated Lions season in decades. Filled with different surprises and expert analysis. You're not going to want to miss out. Go to our Woodward Sports YouTube channel on Sundays and tune in live from 9:30 to 11:30 a.m.
Like that song?
How would you like to win not one, but 2 vehicles of your choice? One for you and one for your wife, your girlfriend, or your best bud. Get to Lady Jane's today for an award.
Coming back to Dispo.
And automatically enter for your chance to win. Courtesy of Les Stanford Buick GMC of Ferndale. Lady Jane's, open 7 days a week, walk in anytime. It's wicked awesome.
10 a.m. to like 2 a.m.
Dispo.
Dispo is your local cannabis plug. You wonder why? There's 12 locations across the great state of Michigan. Make sure you guys stop by. My personal favorite one, that's Dispo Romeo, because they're open from 8 to 12. That's midnight.
Midnight.
You gotta be 21 up to make sure that you go through. Ask them to price match any other deals you guys see going around too. They just might be able to do it for you. DispoShops.com. You also get it delivered to you. Buongiorno and welcome back to Woodward Heavyweights Live on WoodsportsCom. Remember, we're easy. Join my guy, Spin More Rax. Chris, Spinny's on a Friday, total Friday vibes today. I can't reel him in.
Yeah.
It is what it is, boys.
I'm uncontainable.
It is. Chris.
Yes, sir.
What's up with the Pistons, man? Everyone's ready to burn them to the ground.
I mean, yeah, that's what I just don't get. I don't get how you can expect this team. Yeah, you could expect another win or maybe even 2. You're looking at that Portland game. You're looking at that New Orleans game. Those were definitely winnable games. But this is a team that we all should have expected, especially with the schedule being such a hard start for this team. By the New Orleans game, they had already traveled 5,000 miles, and the season was less than a week in. So this is a team that started off the season with a tough schedule, and on top of that is a young team. And we're seeing all the turnovers. We're seeing all the coach trying to implement a new system, him still starting Killian Hayes. I mean, this is a team that they are more competitive than they were last year. They're still losing games, but they're more competitive, and they're probably going to look a lot better in March than they do in November. And so it's a long season. Pace yourselves. I didn't think they were making the play-in. I thought that was the absolute ceiling of this team, was a play-in playoff team. And right now, that's what it looks like. It looks like this is a team that's probably going to miss the play-in or be right around there, but more competitive than they were last year, and that's progress. And like Kool-Aid said when I was talking to him in the back room, this year is about evaluating the talent you have on this roster and seeing what they have long-term, because you don't want to step on these guys' toes and bring in a bunch of veterans that will take minutes away so you can't see what these young guys are capable of. Give them a year. See what these young guys are capable of with a new coach in Monty Williams, and then next season when you have $90 million in cap space, you can make some moves there via trade like Troy Weaver has done all his tenure, or through free agency. This team has a lot of flexibility moving forward, and this year is about patience, and you want to see progress, notable progress, and I think the Pistons are still on track to do it. Everybody just wants playoffs, and I just think that that's a year too soon.
Spinny?
100%. No, he's right, man. It's tough. They lost a couple they should have won. They gave up one here or there. But with the amount of guys they have injured, man, you're not going to get a lot of wins in this league. Already with a roster that isn't, we'll say, top tier, but when you're missing Bogdanovich, Monte Morris, Alec Burks, Jaden Ivey was out, you're missing an important rotation guy in Livers. It's not, wins are not going to come easy when you have rookies and second-year guys that are going to be playing for a majority of the game. You don't like to see that. And you got Killian Hayes, who's a piece of shit. No, I'm just kidding. But, you can't expect them to go out there down 5 guys and get a win against the Suns. Like tonight, you can't expect them to go out there down 5 guys and beat the Warriors. It's just not going to happen.
It sucks because I think Kool-Aid's one who brought it up too. They got a couple more challenging games coming up ahead of these past 2. But the biggest thing for me that I think has affected them is I don't think there's been consistency out of the young guy and Jalen Duren. I think you watched those first couple games, they came out of the gate hot and they were balling. You know who else was balling alongside with them? Who else we were talking crazy about at the beginning of the season? It was Jalen Duren. He was playing out of his mind. We were we're calling it like a Batman and Batman. It could be a Batman and Batman situation between he and Cade. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And like it's just he's kind of like taking a step back, and part of that is just him being young and going through I guess getting that consistency down with him. Now there is some consistency there in terms of like him still being a good player, but it's not just to the level that he showed us in those first 3 games. And it's fair. It's totally fair. The kid's still just 19 years old. You know what I'm saying? Like he's not even able to buy a drink yet.
Yeah.
So I'm cool with it. I guess where the question turns for both myself, because I don't even have an answer for this one, but to you guys too, people in the chat as well, that 27 wins, the over-under was the season started at. Where do you see that? Does it change at all?
No, I think it's right around there. Maybe a little bit over once they get healthy and get more comfortable doing things. I think Monty Morris is going to help this team out a lot when he gets back because that's the only veteran guard they'll have on the roster and a guy that can take a lot of the pressure off of the other ball handlers on the team. So I'm still around 30. I think they'll get there.
Yeah, I'm still at the number 30 as well, and I think that this is a team that, again, is going to show a lot of progress throughout the season, and it's not going to result in 40 wins, but it's going to result in 30 wins and a lot of significant progress. Like, I mean, look, guys, if you would have told me to start the season that Cade was shooting 40% from 3, I would be very, very happy with that. That might be the most important developmental piece that has happened this season and will happen this season. Like, you could talk about the defensive leap that Jalen Duren needs to take for this team to reach a ceiling. Well, how about if Cade is actually a 40% three-point shooter like he was in college? He struggled in the NBA early on. If he is actually a 40% three-point shooter on volume percentage, that changes a lot of things because we know the mid-range game is there. He's showing the ability to get to the rim, and when the foul calls start happening, which they have been, then all of a sudden you're talking about a complete one-man offensive unit that can carry you to a top 10 offense by himself, respectfully, without Killian Hayes in the starting lineup. But that's a huge step. Then Isaiah Stewart, shooting over 40% from 3. So there's things like that you have to look for. How much better or worse does Ivy get? What about Asar? Like what kind of improvements from him? Is he going to have a lot of 0 for 9 three-point field goal attempt games? Hopefully not. Like, you have to look for those things. Because that's what Troy is looking at. He's looking at all of these players, what they can and can't do, and figuring out how to mesh this team perfectly going forward, because then you have $90 million in cap space and you have all your draft picks to trade in the upcoming future. That alone can get you a star plus this young talent. So this team is on the rise, but you have to just take the subtle internal development and progression and look at that, and that's where you count your victories. It's not going to show up in wins and losses, not directly.
Yeah, I think the same way too. Cade, I mean, this is his second year really too. And then the biggest thing for him has been the turnovers. I mean, even just last night, 6 turnovers I heard from Kool-Aid, I think he had. Mm-hmm. That's not great. Ultimately, though, your ball handler, your main ball handler is going to see those amount of turnovers when he's the one making everything happen. I mean, LeBron's been up there at times too, even the big moments, and against better teams. I mean, obviously, you're going to see a lot more of those, but these are the growing pains.
Yeah.
I still think 30 wins is attainable. We need these guys to get healthy. That's another thing with the NBA too. You can't really count on that either.
Yeah, you can't count on it, but I mean, going forward, you're looking at these players, and all of these players should theoretically be healthy. And again, it really is about the young guys. It's about seeing what they have, because that's what Troy Weaver is evaluating. That's the biggest part. That's the core of this team. You have to figure out, can these guys play together? Easy talks about the Ivy and Cade fit all the time. Well, this year is going to be a big year to see, can they fit together or not? And, so far we haven't really gotten to see too much of it because Ivy's been out of games and also on the bench. But these are the things you're looking at. Just right now, look at a team that's a lot more fun. I think Pistons fan could just stop, take a breath, and answer this one question. Are they more fun to watch than last year? And the answer is resoundingly yes.
Yeah.
The answer is resoundingly yes. So that's not what you want. I get it. We want NBA championships. We want Super Bowls. We want Stanley Cups. We want all of that. But you have to also see that growth is something that is not always directly in wins and losses.
Yeah, you can see them grow as individual players. You can see them growing on the defensive side of the ball, especially. Like, they look much better defensively, but things are still happening. Like I said, man, this team being down so many important players is not helping. Already, a worse roster than teams you're going up against with 5 rotation players, 2 starters not playing. It's not going to work. You're not going to win that way. So let's just hope that they can get healthy. Let's hope they go out there, continue to play good defensively, and the rest will work out.
Let me ask you guys this then. So like I talked about the developmental pieces of these young guys. Looking at specifically these young guys, that's the core. Who's the player that you're looking at most to see a development from? Like, in what particular part of their game? Is it Asar with shooting? Is it Cade with turnovers? Is it Ivy with defense? What's the one thing you're looking at of all these young guys that you're like, that's what I want to see improvement on going forward to feel confident about this team?
Yeah, I want to see the
what? Because they all got areas to improve.
Yeah,
so.
I think the one I want to see the most is Cade turnovers. I think he needs to improve on that the most. And obviously, every other facet of the game, he's been playing fantastically. But the Cade turnovers, I want to see improve a little bit more. And Ivy's defense. Because then he can get a crack at some starting minutes, hopefully.
Yeah. I don't know why, because I feel like he had less turnovers his rookie year still. I don't know if he's like just trying to do too much or like maybe the offense – the Monty offense, he's just still getting used to the pace of it. Because I know it was a 0.5 offense.
Yeah, 0.5.
They're constantly like moving the ball. Maybe he's just getting familiar with that or just comfortable with that. Maybe it's one that's not even built for him technically. But I do think that's something we will see improved. At least I hope it's something I see improved because I have a lot of faith in Cade Cunningham. I mean, honestly, almost like the ultimate faith in Cade Cunningham. So I'm definitely banking on that turnover ratio to improve.
For me, it's actually Asar's scoring inside the arc. Like, that's what I look at, because the Cade point, I think, is Cade and Ivy with the turnovers. I think that is going to progress a lot. I mean, you look at a guy like Luka, who Cade is often compared to a lot. You know, he's not Tatum with playmaking, he's Luka. We get it. But Luka averages 4 to 5 turnovers a game. So Cade is like there. He just obviously isn't as special as Luka offensively. So I think that with a new system and a new coach, like you're bound to make these kind of mistakes, especially this early in your career. So I think that turnover number will naturally go down. I have no worries about it yet. I know Monty's kind of getting worried about it. I'm not worried about it at all. Same with Ivy. So for me, it's Asar inside the arc scoring, because the 3-point shooting, we'll see. I'm not necessarily counting on it. He's flashed it very well, especially in overtime, but I'm not counting on it specifically. So if he can score inside the arc, though, finishing around the rim, having a good mid-range game, like all of those things, a floater, like these are things that if he can do that offensively, then he will be good enough to work with Cade. He doesn't have to be an elite 3-point shooter. If he is an elite cutter, which I think he's shown to be, if he is a very good finisher at the rim, which I think he definitely can be, if he could just hit a little mid-range, a little elbow jumper, things like that, to kind of just give a little bit more space on the offense, I think that is actually what can unlock him, and we can go back to the Duren and Asar, who's the Robin to Cade's Batman. Like, that changes a lot. So for me, that's the one thing I'm looking at. It would be that and Jalen Duren's rim protecting.
Yeah, Jalen Duren wants some consistency out of him too, defensively mainly. Like go back to the Heat game, the defense was phenomenal. I know the Heat aren't like the greatest start too, but they're still a good team. They're one of those veteran teams where they're kind of like, they're going to play their parts. So like, when they need to step up, when they want to challenge themselves, they will as the season progresses. But I also know they want to be embarrassed by a Detroit Pistons team. That was good defense. The following game, forgive me for not remembering who it was. Who did we get the first W? Get Charlotte.
Charlotte, yeah.
Good defense. Like the first 3 games, the defense was phenomenal all around. Asar, I still believe it. I think he's top 10 blocks.
Yeah, if he keeps playing like this, he's going to be all defensive all NBA. Like,
we'll go in more depth about Asar Thompson, but not before I tell you guys about Mark White. Because whether you're buying or selling real estate, Mark White is the place to go. Because flexibility is the key to success. Contact him at 248-290 or visit him at markwhitesells.com. He's got the minute-by-minute listing agreement. We cancel your listing agreement for any reason with no penalty whatsoever. That's markwhitesells.com. Do you have Les Stanford? Or
coming back to
Les
it.
Stanford's good.
Bitch, I'm back.
NCAA not implicating Harbaugh.
They're not?
The league's findings don't connect Michigan coach to sign stealing scandal.
Woodward Sports' own Tom Mazaway and Sam Stick Day will be hosting our Lions postgame show after every Lions game all season long. Tune into the Woodward Sports YouTube channel for his hot-off-the-press takes, game analysis, and Kool-Aid sipping celebrations. You won't want to miss it. Join Maz, Stick, and special guests each week immediately following every Lions game, exclusively on the WSN YouTube channel.
Les Stanford. Les Stanford. 5, 4, 3, 2.
What happens when you run a great business for over 50 years? You expand and offer more products to more people. That is exactly what Les Stanford did by adding Les Stanford Buick GMC, the same great service the customers have known and trusted on Woodward Avenue, just south of 9 Mile. Check out Les Stanford in Dearborn today and find the brand you want at lesstanford.com.
What up, though? Welcome back to the Woodward Heavyweights live on WoodwardSports.com. I'm Easy, SFMO Rax, Young Chris, Casper the Friendly Ghost. Just kidding, it's John Cena on the 1s and 2s. Smash that like button, 5-star review. I'm seeing what's up with the crosstalk with Booner. I think he's dodging.
He's scared.
I think he's scared.
Makes sense.
Booner is scared.
I'm about to
Confirmed.
ask him right now. Are you scared? Question mark.
So,
Sarah Thompson. What? Oh, you say something else?
You want to talk about Harbaugh?
What did we pull it up? Like the actual?
It was
report?
per Yahoo Sports.
Go ahead.
So
It's your show.
I'm trying to find it on it.
So what?
Twitter now, so I can read the exact
This
quote.
guy's choking under pressure.
Come on, man.
NCAA shared their latest Michigan investigation findings with Big Ten as the conference considers a multi-game suspension of Jim Harbaugh while school gears up for legal action. The NCAA did not find anything connecting Jim Harbaugh to the sign stealing investigation, the sign stealing fiasco. From Trevor McHugh, who is the senior editor at Maize and Blue Review, he says, let me get this right. Seems like there should be a major headline coming for more reporting. Big Ten coaches and athletic directors are demanding that the Big Ten punish Jim Harbaugh before an investigation occurs, while the NCAA findings do not yet connect to Jim Harbaugh.
I mean, I'm not surprised. There's two camps in this that I already know the factions are going to be. The one camp being with Jim Harbaugh, it's such a minimal thing. Like sign stealing is such a it's not what people are trying to make it out to be. Like it's equivalent for them like winning all these games. It has very little to do with sign stealing because again, it's something that every single team, from high school to college to the pro level, is doing. Every single team.
Yeah.
The other camp is going to be the camp that's like, oh, Jim Harbaugh doesn't have complete control of what's going on his coaching staff. Which is that fair? I mean, that's kind of fair a little bit, I guess, right?
It's like you can't tell me that he didn't know. Nothing goes on in the Michigan football program that Jim Harbaugh doesn't know about.
Well, obviously, a few things go on in the Michigan program without Jim Harbaugh
knowing.
Well,
I'm not talking about the personal lives of his staffers or anything. I'm talking about stuff like this that directly impacts them on the field. That's not going to, like...
I guess it could be like a frown upon him because, like, even though, like, you do delegate certain duties, like an offensive or defensive coordinator, duties. You still probably want to know who they're hiring as, like, their assistant staffs beneath them. You know what I'm saying? And just and in general, I feel like, I mean, I guess a background check wouldn't have prevented this, but it's I could see a scenario where, and again, I'm not a Michigan guy, but I could see a scenario where Jim Harbaugh didn't know anything about this, and I could also see it being a bad thing that he didn't. Booner's in for Crosstalk, ladies and gentlemen. Make sure you tap in for the Booner and Broder show starting at 8 o'clock tonight. But before we get into our heated debate, Booner, did you hear the news? I guess they're not. NCAA hasn't found Jim Harbaugh responsible for anything as of yet. Nothing tying him directly.
I think it's fine. I think the whole thing should just blow over. Well, think about it. Obviously,
I don't think his mic's on, Chris.
Oh, am I not on?
I don't think so.
Can you guys hear Booner?
My name is Booner. Hello.
Hello.
26 years old.
But of course, wearing your national championship hat. When was that from? 62.
I think you press the second row.
Oh, the half a national championship hat. Yeah. But
it should say couch cam, I think, on it.
I think that.
Can you guys hear me now?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
So this is the. I know, like it's funny, like you said, like even if he didn't know, like at the end of the day, what's gone down is that Michigan's gotten evidence from like ex-coaches in the Big Ten, and they've gotten evidence on their own of other schools doing things and taking signs similar to them or filming practice or just doing different things to where they're like, hey, if you guys really want to go down this path, we'll just blow up the Big Ten. And that's kind of, at least from what I'm reading and all the stuff that everyone has. And then that's when the NCAA's came out and said, hey, we can't find anything that ties to him. So it's like, all right, there's obviously collusion going around college football in general. And the NCAA knows, like, we're not going to blow this thing up. So let's just move on.
So you think just nothing is going to come from this at all?
I mean, maybe the Big Ten suspends Jim Harbaugh for a couple games, but then Michigan's just going to come back with a lawsuit, and they're going to try and go at the Big Ten. And then it's just, if that does happen, I kind of hope, like, there's a side of me that's like, I hope that happens. I saw this on Twitter, like, I hope it happens. So you can kind of see that, like, things crumble in the Big Ten. I want to see Ohio State crumble for doing what they did. Like, I would like that to happen, but none of it has to happen if everyone just goes on about their other ways. Because like it's the thing that at the beginning of the whole thing, everyone does like cheating things, not cheating, but like they try and go around the rules. It happens at every level, D2, D3, NAIA. So the fact that people are like, Ryan Day got mad, he lost 2 years, and he starts to investigate and does a personal thing, and he's just it's a baby move to do it, and he knows that he has things that he does that's probably corrupt. Every program does, and now that stuff's going to come out. It was just a dumb move in general. It's like the SEC. What does Neil say about the SEC all the time? They don't touch each other. They just go about their business. They know things happen. Yeah. They don't say anything. They go about their business. Ryan Day has been losing, and his job's on the line, so he tried to go out, investigate, and save his job, and now he's made it worse around the Big Ten. Yeah, that's how I look at it. Michigan State's probably cheated. Everyone's cheated. Not like, you know what I mean? Like, when I say cheated, I mean...
I hope Michigan State hadn't cheated, because if they're cheating and they're still ass, that's embarrassing.
Yeah. I'm sure they have found ways to go around rules.
I mean, they're definitely... Everyone's sign stealing. I mean, it's just not...
For sure.
This is not, like, recorded per se or
Did you hear the document that Michigan had?
No.
They got a document from an ex-Big Ten coach that had every single one of Michigan's Steins for the last 2 or 3 years from the Big Ten school he was at. And there was text messages and messages and emails back and forth from different Big Ten coaches with these Michigan signs. So it's like, this is going on around college football. Welcome to sports and competitive, this is part of the game. So I mean, I think it's like, all right, let's move on and just get over it. Ryan Day's a scumbag at the end of the day.
I think less of a scumbag, more of a pussy.
Yeah, Ryan Day's, how is Ryan Day a scumbag?
He's a scumbag. I don't like Ryan Day. He's a scumbag. I hope he never coaches in college football again.
All right, Chris, tell us about Glorious Cannabis when we get back. A little bit of cross-talk with Boomer, because we had a heated back and forth in the group chat today. And just some cannabis sponsorship. Just calm us down before we jump into that.
All right, let me tell you about Glorious Cannabis just in time for football. Glorious Cannabis is back there releasing a new ice water bubble hash infused pre-roll called Honolulu Blue. It smells like the first whiff of a playoff win in 31 years. It's a gassy, aggressive strain named in honor of Detroit football. You can get them for 25% off at Dispo Dispensary using the code Woodward at gloriouscanna.com. Glorious.
Come hang with the Woodward Sports crew all throughout football season on Saturdays and Sundays.
Mike's a hot really
sound college football and Detroit Lions live.
Mics are all Booner. You can say whatever you like.
Oh yeah, say whatever you like.
Say anything. First thing that pops in your mind.
Yeah.
Hey, these smoothies from Birmingham, roasted.
Oh, so good. Depending on the game. Only on our Woodward Sports YouTube channel.
Really? Oh, dude, the strawberry banana one?
That's what I got.
Yeah, so good. I get no whipped cream though.
She told me to mix them next time. Do mango and strawberry banana, half and half.
Join today for just $1 down, $10 a month.
We're not muted, are we?
2,400
nope.
locations and equipment for every workout. You can get in.
We are Booner. I mean, yep.
And with free fitness training,
you can say whatever you want.
Everyone belongs in the judgment-free zone. So join today for $1
no repercussions.
Someone said Ryan Day brags about having it.
Join Woodward Sports Zone Jeff
Someone has
Iafredi along with special WSN
Ryan Day
guests
brags about having
for
a
the
yeast
most
infection.
anticipated Lions season
15
in
seconds.
decades. Filled with different surprises and expert
Detroit Dad will
analysis.
please send me the article.
Go to our Woodward Sports YouTube channel on Sundays and
Outdoor.
tune in live from 9:30 to 11:30 a.m.
Your childhood may be over, but Playtime is not. Outdoor Equipment Company is your source for outdoor power equipment, sales, service, and parts, carrying top brands such as Bad Boy, LS Tractor, Steel, and more. Servicing the Great Lakes regional locations of Metro Detroit and Greater Lansing. Make sure you check out OutdoorEquipmentCompany.com for better prices. It's Outdoor Equip Co., your power equipment playground.
Nice.
Nice. What up, though? Welcome back to the World Heavyweights Live at WoodsportsCom. I'm Easy. That's been more Raxter.
Hello.
Chris. JB Smooth is gone. We have Cashman from the Ghost in the Sound Booth. And we have Booner from the Broder and Booner Show. Woodward Nights joining us. Make sure you guys tap into that one tonight. It's from 8 to 10 o'clock. Michigan alum Broder, we're breaking down his stuff.
How'd you feel about me losing $600+ on 1 yard?
That's brutal.
Yeah.
I think Sunday was bad for everyone.
Because fucking Mike Evans got down to the 1. If he would have scored that touchdown, I would have won $650.
It was a bad Sunday for everyone.
It was a bad Sunday.
I don't think I know one person who like really came up on Sunday.
Yeah,
nothing is worse than losing the parlay on Jalen Hurts taking the knee.
I had the same thing. That was bad.
He literally had the yards and just took a knee and just lost.
Yeah.
By the way, the sketchiest thing I saw yesterday is when they got the touchdown. Talking about the Texans, and they're only up 2. There's still 5 seconds on the clock. Don't kick a field goal. Don't go for the 2-point conversion. They took a knee.
Well, because they didn't have a kicker.
Yeah,
but he kicked earlier in the game.
Spread was 2.5.
Spread was 2.5. Beyond sketchy. Sketchy.
That is kind of sketchy.
But anyway,
but like if you miss the extra point and they
nothing happens,
get it somehow.
No,
they could take it down the field and score
for 2 but then they would just tie it. But they also could have kicked a field goal off a kick return and beat you. But either way,
miss
what? Are you reading the comment?
Bibby Diddy, Baba Diddy, Boo.
Nice.
In the Woodward Sports chat says Spenny with a heart face.
Oh, that's awesome.
Aw.
Congrats.
Shout out Miss Boo.
Shout out Booner, you had some beef today.
Yeah, I'll let you go.
No.
I don't think there's beef.
You're the one that was mad. You were the one that was mad.
Yeah. No, so this is what I'm mad at.
Aggressively attacking each.
So no. First, I think me and Spenny. I think Spenny kind of would agree with me on the side, and I did speak with Jeff on it, and he kind of understood where I was coming from. I don't think an easy your kind of viewpoint on this Lions team, it feels like, is that like the seed, like unless you get the 1 seed, you're done. Like there's no point in showing up. Season's over. The reason of me getting mad is I think as a Lions fan and kind of forever, is at some point the way the Lions have been the last 2 years, they have turned a corner, and it's very obvious that it's SOL is completely gone. It's a different regime. There's different people in place. And everything is completely different to where I look at different fan bases who have won things like the 49ers, the Patriots, the Packers, like Chiefs. I look at their fan bases, and whether or not they have a mediocre team going into the playoffs, they go into the playoffs going, hey, we're going to win this thing. And that's where I feel like this Lions team and this regime, Dan Campbell has the guys. Brad Holmes he's brought the right players in to have that mindset. And to your thing, Easy, it's like, hey, if you don't get the 1 seed, you're losing after the first round no matter what. You have the spread's going to be you're going to be a 10-point dog to any other team you play besides.
You're going definitely kind of beyond the point, but yeah.
But that's kind of where I'm at with it. And when I text you and when you're kind of like, no, they're done after the first round, it's to me, it's like, dude, like, when are you going to start having that confidence like these other fan bases have? Like,
Maybe once they do it.
No, real quick, you guys said we all sit up on that desk and we talk about, and we go at the coaches, we go at the front office for years talking about when are you going to take that turn with the culture. I think it's time now, and I'm going to talk about this on our show tonight. It's time now for the fan base and people like us to turn that corner on our end and be like, we have this confidence in this football team.
So you're blaming the fans?
No, not at all, because 90% of the people in the chat are with me. There's like a handful of people like Easy who are like, the season's done.
Well, hold on.
Like Easy.
Yeah.
That's what okay, come on.
No. This is what you're doing. You want me to just blindly believe this team's going to win a Super
No.
Bowl every single season, no matter what.
No, that's not.
That's what Cowboys fans do.
Okay, yeah. Screw Cowboys fans. Those are scumbags as well.
You want to be them?
Cowboys fans?
Yeah.
Because they're Mexican?
Yeah.
Okay, here we go again.
No, why are
No, it's just like when are you gonna? When is that
asking
confidence
Lions
going to
fans
be?
to be that.
I see 90% of Lions fans right now have that confidence, which I love. But there's that 10%
Sounds
who
like a
annoy,
stat.
who I get on my nerves, who are like, there's no chance they can make it to the Super Bowl. No chance you'll see them in the NFC Championship game. They might win their first playoff game, but after that, nothing else matters. And that's what bothers me. It's like after the trade deadline when you guys were all up here like, they can't do anything. They're done. Season over. It's like, what are we doing here?
Well, hold on. We'll time out. Yeah, because we.
That's what it felt like. That's what it felt like.
That's what it felt like to you as like a
Like, me watching you guys' show as an outsider when I'm at work watching it. That's what it felt like.
Because you're acting like the ultimate fanboy right now. You can't just
I'm
go to
not.
every season blindly. It's like they're going to win a playoff game no matter what.
I'm not acting like a fanboy because it's still, if you get a
that's-
second round matchup versus the Cowboys, I've been the first one to say it's probably a pick 'em line, and you have to go out and win that game. It's not a guarantee, but I still think they can go win that game to go to the NFC Championship game. And then if you say you have a 2 seed and you go to the Eagles, yeah, you're probably a 6-point dog. You're probably a 6-point dog, but that I'm still going to be like, hey, we can win this game somehow, some way. I'm not going to just be like, season's over, pack it up, let's go home.
Well, so
what's the point of playing a season if you're 6-2 and all you're like, we can't do anything?
So first and foremost, someone said season's over, pack it up, we're done.
After the trade deadline, I heard that on this show, basically.
No, you did not hear that on the show.
Okay.
That's what you wanted to hear.
He's arguing like
that's what you wanted.
He's arguing like your girl. He's like, I feel like this is what you're saying.
Exactly. He's doing. I mean, I love you, but you're doing the fan shit. You're doing the
fanboy
shit.
Sorry, I'm. All right, go on.
Well, I'm just saying, like you're asking us to believe them into a championship. That's not how you win championships.
Yeah, but you can't off the vibes, though.
What's your percentage?
But I want to ask you a question real quick.
PFF had them as
why
a 16%
Why do you hate
chance.
Cowboys fans? Why do you think they're scumbags?
The difference with Lions fans,
the
Cowboys fans is every year they're 11, 12 wins and they never win a thing. Year after year. That's why. It's because they act like they're Super Bowl winning teams and they haven't won in my lifetime.
But that's what you're asking the Lions fans to beat.
No, I think it's a little different.
How?
Because the 49ers fans, I don't hate them, but they haven't won a Super Bowl in my lifetime.
Okay, but
I got you there. Oh, little.
No, it's fair.
Yeah,
I understand. I hate Cowboys
it's just
fans
something
too.
about. I don't think there's something you can be like, oh, it's that. It's just like Cowboy. It's because it's like they're like, oh, we're America's team, and you haven't won in my whole life. So it's like,
but they have that confidence. You should admire that.
On one side of me, I do a little bit.
Yeah, that's fair.
Do you see what I'm saying though? Like a Patriots fan, even the last 4 years, they have this confidence where they're like somehow Mac Jones will take us to the promised land.
Why do they have that confidence?
Because they've won.
Because they've won consistently for 10, 15
when are we
years.
gonna just be like a little bit? I'm not saying
they have to do it.
I'm not saying I want you to be like they're gonna win the Super Bowl. Just
that's what you want to be like.
No, it's not. Because I didn't guarantee a Super Bowl or an NFC Championship.
You did just now.
But you're
I did not guarantee.
Not believing they can.
I said I believe they can go do it. I didn't guarantee it. I believe it. What's the point of watching these games and cheering in the playoffs if you don't believe a team can do it?
Listen,
if you're just you might as well not show up to the watch parties in the playoffs.
You might as well not show up.
You might as well sit out.
You might as well not show up to your job because every show of yours will be like, yeah, they're going to win the Super Bowl this year.
No, because we break it down and we talk about that.
Because I believe it. No, but you believe it. But you believe it.
I believe there's a chance.
Obviously, there's a fucking chance.
That's what I'm the argument easy.
That's weak.
That's the argument with easy.
The chances there, whether you believe or not.
Telling me there's a
chance.
But the odds aren't.
There's a chance that Houston could win out and win the Super Bowl. There's a chance Carolina turns it around and wins the Super Bowl.
Now you guys this is getting stupid.
But that's what you're doing.
The Lions have a good chance of doing it. They're in a good position to be able to go do that. And if you're saying no,
do you believe it's going to happen? Yes or no?
It's going to happen. I'm not going to say it's going to happen, but I think there's a very good chance that they have a path to do it.
There's a chance I win $1 million.
Oh my gosh! See, this is where there's a chance of anything.
But I don't believe it's going to happen.
There's a chance of anything, Spenny, in the whole world. Yeah, but I'm talking about the Lions going. There's if you look at the graphic from PFF a couple days ago, they had a 16% chance of going to the Super Bowl. 16, and you guys are sitting up here like it's a 0.001%.
It's 16%.
Change the mind.
You're gonna die.
Change your mind.
I can't believe them to a championship, but it doesn't work that way.
Then make the bet with me.
No, I want to
Exactly.
Booner, because I said.
Let me tell the people what the bet are. Can I tell the people what the bet are?
If they get the number 1 seed,
No.
I
want the bet now before the seeds happen.
What?
The bet was I will give if the Lions do not make the NFC Championship, I'll pay him $100. But if they do, he has to sit on that couch during the stream, both TVs off, and he has to listen to us about the game. And he can only hear the game.
Damn.
But he won't do it because he doesn't believe they can go. So I'm like, if you don't believe it, here's a free $100. Or if they make it there, you sit on that couch and you have to watch us react to the game.
If they get the number 1 seed?
No, see, that's what I'm saying.
I can see
you see what I'm saying here? Spency, that's why I got mad.
What the fuck I've been saying, Booner? If they get the number 1 seed,
do it now.
I can see them doing it. If they don't get the number 1 seed, they're cooked.
Do it now. Make the bet now.
Booner, if they get the number 1 seed, no.
Make the bet.
If you want to wait to seeding, we can make a bet.
Make the bet now.
I'm not making a bet. I don't.
You think they can go win it?
No. I told
you
they
get
the 1 seed.
Make the bet.
I don't understand this.
Spenny, this is what happened in the group chat earlier. That's why I put the bet out there.
So why don't you wait to the seedings then? Why don't you wait to the seedings?
Because
you know the odds are better than the chance too if they get the number 1 seed. You know that, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Why? If you want to wait to the seeding, let's just do it now. What's the point of waiting?
That doesn't make 0 sense. You want to wait to the seedings, just do it now. No, wait to the seedings, bro. That makes 0 sense.
They're gonna have a 1 or a 2 stage shake right now. Hey, chat, should he take this bet?
The chat's not gonna bull me. The chat's full of Jared Golf Gobblers. If you have to convince me that he's an MVP candidate for the fucking NFL,
yeah, Chuck Brewer. No money on Easy's size. Wow, weak Easy, make the bet.
That's fine. We don't ever make the bet. Jared Goff could be MVP because he doesn't believe it.
That is true.
I didn't believe he was going to win MVP. I said there was like a 2% chance.
Broder do it for us today.
Broder was the one that was on that.
Woodward Heavyweights live on WoodwardSports.com. Make sure you like and share the stream. For Easy, for Chris, for Booner, I am Spencer. For John Cena in the sound booth. Appreciate you holding it down. We'll catch you guys tomorrow. Peace.
To get the 1 seed is possible. If not,
take the bet. We're not doing this.